Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. How are we doing? This evening, we'll be continuing on with this frame that I was doing last week, and I'm once again joined by Dr. Tenistrophius. How you doing, man? Are you there? Hello?
Yeah.
He's there.
Yeah, I'm here.
There he is.
Pausing for dramatic effect. Hi, everyone. It's Discount Clayton Fioriti here.
Clayton might actually be watching, I don't know. I did mention it to him. But yeah, we'll see. Thank you, Big Shark, for the $2 tip. That was amazing. You sent that during the waiting screen of the stream, which is very, very kind of you. What was I going to play in the background? I don't know. Do I do that? No. Yes. Yes, I do. I want to play the Golden Compass soundtrack of the game that no one remembers.
Well, all the fans here know it by now.
Yeah, I know, right? Hopefully that's not too loud.
Do you have any attachment to that book, or just the game?
No, well, the only attachment I have to that book is that I read the first one. I'm not really a big book guy, so I read the first one and then that was it. I just gave up. But yeah, the film, I guess, the only attachment I have to the film is when I went to go watch The Golden Compass was the same night I went to go see Beowulf. And Beowulf was the first 3D movie I saw ever.
That's a hell of a back-to-back feature.
Yeah, well, I was with some friends with teenagers, and we were like, what should we go watch? And we were like, we want to go double feature, and the only things that were out were really that. I wanted to see Beowulf anyway. But yeah, then we went and watched that, and I just came out of Beowulf going, okay, that film was pretty good, but my god, I've never seen 3D without the red and blue before. And I was blown away, and I was like, that is the future. And it kind of was. Kind of died off a bit.
3D's always given me a bit of motion sickness. I feel bad because I'm the sort of guy who would. I feel like I dig it, but my brain just can't. I haven't tried all of the methods, and I know there are a couple out there now. So maybe there's one that doesn't fry my brain chemistry when I look at the screen.
Yeah, I mean, there's certain films that I think, like, not when they started making every film 3D, like every major blockbuster, it kind of, I just thought that kind of sucked. The films that were tailor-made for 3D obviously work really well, but I'd say the two films, if I had to think of examples of films that were 3D that I would be like, okay, those were the best examples, it would be Avatar. Because that was, I was one of these people, I genuinely got the feeling when I was watching Avatar that I was just looking through like a hole in the wall into another world. Like, it was so weird, and I've always attributed that to the way James Cameron used the camera. And I remember the first time it happened when I was watching the film, it was when Jake's just escaped that Thanator or whatever that thing's called, that giant cat monster, and he's sharpening a stick, and then it cuts to him walking through the jungle, and like the way the camera's low on the ground looking like through, that was the moment I went, whoa, and it just hit me, and I was like, okay, this 3D experience, and it is awesome, and it always sticks with me, even when I watch it in 2D now on my home screen. Like, I still get that feeling every time I see it, but that would be attributed to me watching it in the cinema. Like, I get that feeling again. And Tron Legacy is my other pick, because Tron Legacy, when I went to go see that, I went and saw that on the biggest screen in the UK, which is the Waterloo IMAX in London. It's like a ridiculously huge screen, and the good thing about that,
I can imagine it's like a giant rave.
well, it's just the entire cinema has one screen in it. It's massive. It's a huge IMAX screen. It's like a wall, and the seats are almost vertical, like next to it. It's like you're basically just all sat vertically looking at this giant wall. But yes, what was I going to say? Oh, Tron Legacy, because the film was in 2D when you're in the real world, and then when you entered the grid, it went 3D and opened up. Like there was like black bars on the film when you're in the real world, and then when you went to the 3D world of the grid, it like opened up. And being on that screen, I was like blown away. But obviously at home, that experience, you can't really capture that. So I think 3D works for films when you're watching them at the cinema, but then again, only particular specific ones. But for the home experience, I haven't really properly experienced 3D TVs at home. There was only one instance I did at a friend's, and it had like the capabilities of switching on 3D for normal TV. So it had like this AI that would read normal TV, and then convert it to 3D. So we were watching cartoons in 3D, and it just looked so weird because they were like flat, but you could see behind them. It was really weird.
That sounds bizarre.
Yeah, it was really trippy.
I'll give Tron this. I do miss that I didn't get the chance to see it in theaters, but the sound on that movie, top notch.
Oh yeah. So the whole film's great. Banging movie.
Honestly, like I'm really beginning to think that soundtrack matters as much as what's happening on screen.
Well, yeah, because half the story is sound. So the music really does play make an effect. I can tell you now, like for Dino-Defenders, that's why I don't have any people speaking, but I was like, I need to make sure that the soundtrack's good, because that's going to really up the quality of this show if people listen to the soundtrack and go, okay, this is better than what I was expecting. And Luke, who's doing the score, he's getting better with each chapter, so hopefully. I mean, I kind of want him to go back and redo episode 1 again, because some of the sound levels are off on that. But we'll see. For the final one, we'll see.
That's an easy fix. And you've said you've wanted to make more extensive changes on that episode anyway.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But we've got to get to the end first. Get to the end before we can go back and George Lucas the whole thing.
Like, I played around with watching a couple of scenes from Aliens with the Alien soundtrack behind it, and it does change the mood really significantly.
There's one moment in Aliens where they use the Alien soundtrack.
Oh yeah, especially early in the movie when they're establishing things, but by the time the action kicks off, there's a noticeable shift in tempo. Oh
yeah, no, I meant like the moment I'm thinking of is towards the end of the movie when Ripley is running away from the Queen with Newt. There's a bit where the Queen bends its head down near some stairs, and the music does the same exact score from when Ripley's tilting her head round that corner, and she spots the alien standing between her and the airlock.
Oh yeah,
it's the exact same music cue. I've always caught that, and I was like, that's really strange, but I can't. I'm trying to think of ones that are right at the beginning of the movie. I know there is a theme play out, but that one towards the end is the one where I'm like, that is just from Alien. Like they've actually taken the score from Alien.
Which, I mean, you couldn't not.
Couldn't not what?
Oh, you couldn't not ignore the soundtrack from the first one. And the third one went in such a different direction and really took it in an operatic tone.
Yeah, the third one's my favorite score. It's so epic. So epic, man.
Those final end credits with the violin, that's straight Hans Zimmer.
Speaking of Elliot Goldenthal, who did that soundtrack, I'm gonna watch Sphere because I bought it on Laserdisc the other day. so I want to watch Sphere again, and he did the soundtrack to that, and there's lots of cues from Alien 3 in that, because a lot of composers do that, don't they? They'll reuse motifs from their other film scores.
From what I understand, yeah, and I love Sphere. What just a tight, straightforward thriller without being. It carries a different energy, right? There's scary stuff going on, but it isn't Sam Neill ripping his eyes out and taking you into the void.
No, that's also coincidentally my favourite Michael Crichton book is Sphere. So I love I think the film's a really good adaptation of the book, and I like the book a lot. I think the book's great, and I just love that premise, that story. It's just right up my alley.
I do need to read that book.
It's really good. There are a lot of differences between the book and the film, but the book is well worth a read. Oh god, I want to read that again, or at least get it on audiobook so I can listen to it when I'm at work. But it's it's definitely worth checking out. The film is a good adaptation. Like, it does water down the book somewhat, but the whole from what I remember, the ending is slightly different in the book. But the character of Norman and his relationship to Jerry, the alien, is really good in the book, because obviously he's a psychologist or psychiatrist, isn't he? He's a psychologist, right? I can't remember now.
One or the other. I
tomato.
I feel bad. I still screw them up. And I know to a professional it is as annoying as mixing up there, and there, which would annoy me.
I'm gonna look it up because I want to make sure I get it right. I think he's a psychologist, because he was a psychologist for one of the other characters, Beth. Where are we looking? Sphere.
It's psychiatry that can actually prescribe medicine.
Okay, yeah, he's a psychologist. Yeah. Oh,
he's not dosing out pills to everybody to solve their problems. Crichton wouldn't resort to that.
I just love the idea of, and they do speak about it in the film briefly, but in the book they go into it more, like that he wrote a paper on if people met alien life, the only thing they'd experience is terror and all this sort of stuff, and goes into like why did he write that, and then you have that whole bit at the beginning of the book and in the film where like they bring him on, and it's all the mystery of like why he's there, like why is a psychologist being brought out to the middle of the ocean, and then they're like, because of this paper you wrote years ago, and he's like, oh, I wrote that as a joke. And they're like, we're taking it really seriously. It's just such a cool premise.
How did you feel about Arrival?
I actually didn't like Arrival.
Really?
Yeah, because I thought... Okay, so it was not so much the idea behind Arrival I didn't like, it was just the execution of the mood of the movie. Such a miserable movie. I just didn't care.
It is sad. It isn't let's pop this on for an enjoyable afternoon.
Yeah, and that's not to say like that's what I was exactly looking for, but I didn't find it fun. Like, I was like, this should be like right up my street. Like, I liked the bit at the beginning when the alien first arrives and the school's like bell goes off and everyone's like confused. I love that in movies, like when it's like, because it's like inviting the unknown into the real world kind of thing, and you're seeing how people react to it. So I was game for, and I was having fun with it there. But then when it got to the whole alien communication, I just thought the characters we're following, they're just so boring. I was like, I just don't care about any of these characters. They're just so miserable. And then when you get to the end and you find out why and all this sort of stuff, I'm like, okay. Well, obviously I know why they didn't tell us that at the beginning of the movie, but at the same time, now that makes the rest of the movie make sense, but it does make the movie not fun to watch.
And you're probably in my boat that you can't help but sympathize with the husband in that whole story.
Yeah. Yeah, from what I remember, yes. I don't know, we can talk spoilers, can't we? Because the film came out a while ago.
I think so.
Yeah. What was the...
I mean, we spoiled the shit out of Sphere, didn't we?
No. Oh, no, we didn't spoil Sphere. Sphere's...
the big part.
What, that there's a sphere? An alien? That's the big...
Oh, are you connecting Sphere and Alien now?
Yeah, there's an alien in Sphere. But yeah, like the ending of Arrival, I was just like, I just didn't. I was like, I get the twist. Okay, great, but no, it's not really mine. And I love that director. Like, I love Blade Runner 2049. I thought that was really good.
I can't say I totally disagree on the characterization, but the ideas at play really, really endear me in that movie, and breaking the broadest communication barrier.
Yeah, I liked all the alien communication stuff. Like because they brought someone in, didn't they, to someone famous to come up with the language, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, NPR had her on. Oh man, I
forget the name.
Should know this.
Yeah, like I appreciate that. Like that's all cool, but it was just the mood of the movie. Like, to me, that can make or break it. Like, there's movies that are really bad, but there's a certain mood that they put me in when I watch them. I'm like, okay, this movie's bad, but I actually really like and I enjoy watching it, even though I know that it's not a good movie.
Jurassic Hero in the chat brings up, in his opinion, the idea of an alien queen is mixed. The good side is, since here aliens don't have sex organs, it makes sense to have a reproductive female like Ender's Game. I'm not sure what the other side of that is, what the bad side is. And I don't think Alien has proven itself to not be limited by where James Cameron took it.
He said the bad side, the alien queen stole the design from the Xenomorph queen instead of a 6-foot tall alien with clothing and 6 breasts. What? What?
Was that one of H.R. Giger's designs? Like, this is what I would have made for the ruler of this species.
Yeah, I mean, since in the new Alien movies, they've made it so, like, you've got the black goo and all that sort of stuff. There's more options. So I like the Queen, and I like all the other stuff that you can do with the aliens.
We got the freaky boob alien with the newborn. Leave it at that.
Yeah, exactly. E-Picking says he's convinced his mother to watch the live stream. Hello. Just before we came on, we were talking to his mum on Discord, and it was very funny and very delightful.
She is a sinner.
That's funny.
There was a design for Alien 3 where the tongue wasn't a mouth, but a barbed injector. I did like those ideas that he brought to the table.
I would have liked to have seen that alien come to life in a movie someday, because that had like human lips and it would kiss people.
Yeah.
And I like that. I'm like, oh, that's horrible. That plays into, like, the sexualized horror of Alien or whatever they do with these things. And,
I don't think Holrit adapting all of the ideas that H.R. Giger put down in his art and the philosophies he's trying to express one-to-one into the Alien franchise would have been the best idea.
No. Because that's the thing, like, I think people who would want that, I have a feeling they wouldn't like it if they saw it play out, because it'd get too weird.
Well, we sort of got it in a different package with Species.
Yes, yeah, exactly. There you go. That's a good example because we have an actual example of H.R. Giger pulling that off in another movie.
That was a great first movie, and everything else that came after it was just so sad.
Yes, I have very fond memories. I nearly said memories of Species when I was a kid. Watching that for the first time, I was like, "Oh, looks like Alien," and then watching it and going, "Okay, this got very different feelings about this movie now."
And then I didn't see it, but there was a revival of the concept with the movie Splice.
I never saw that. Never saw Splice.
Yeah, it didn't look that interesting, I'll be perfectly honest.
Is that with Adrian Brody?
Maybe. I can pull it up.
I think it is. Harrison asks, Jack, do you still like your alien-free egg theory? Yes, I do. That's still my headcanon whenever I watch Alien Free. The assembly cut doesn't work with the theatrical cut. And for those of you that don't know, there's always been this contention amongst fans of Alien Free about how that egg got on the Sulaco to begin with. Since, we're clearly shown in Aliens that the Queen has an egg sac. And obviously a lot of fans have headcanoned it, so she's like, can lay an emergency egg and all that sort of crap. And my theory is that, okay, so I'll try and do this as quickly as possible because this gets a bit convoluted. So in Alien 3, the assembly cut, we see two different types of facehugger. So the one that impregnates Ripley inside the Sulaco is one of the normal ones that we've seen many, many different times before. The one that impregnates the Ox is actually a huge one that is often mistakenly called the Queen facehugger, which I've never really understood because it's not the one that lays the Queen. That was a normal facehugger. It's just called a Queen facehugger because it's big, or it's also it's got some other names as well. The Royal facehugger is actually like it's another name it's given, which I actually prefer that name. But there's no explanation in the film as to necessarily why it's so big compared to the other ones. But my theory goes that it's that big because, and this is just the headcanon, it carried an egg on its back like a hermit crab, and that's why the egg is like hidden away in the ship rather than like near where the Queen or distributed it. But I guess on the Alien Free Blu-ray it says that the egg is in the back of the dropship, but when you see it in the film it clearly isn't in the back of the dropship. But then again, you can also say that the entire opening is like a weird dream of Ripley's, that she's getting fleeting information from what's actually happening in the real world. Yeah. But also my theory is backed up by the fact that obviously, okay, so the idea goes that this royal facehugger was attached to the Queen and it had an egg on it, hidden away on the Queen somewhere. And when the Queen was fighting Ripley with the power loader, this little facehugger dipped out of the way and went and hid this egg somewhere. Because the Queen, you got to think the hive has just been blown up. The Queen is the only thing left. So this facehugger is basically trying to preserve the last of its species. So instead of doing what facehuggers normally do and go and just impregnate someone instantly, it's got this duty, this survival duty to take this egg and plant it somewhere so the species has a way of surviving. And
yeah, Queen on its own is a risky gambit, but
yeah, exactly.
Can't facehuggers impregnate multiple times?
Not according to the movies. They impregnate once and then die. Because I guess they graft some of their self. Cause it's okay. This is another fan theory of mine. Okay, so the facehuggers always have that penis, don't they? Wibbling about underneath them. No, but
proboscis.
Yes, the proboscis. But whenever you see the facehuggers after they've impregnated someone, they've always got like this open guts bottom area. Because Ash is like looking at one under the microscope, and so is Bishop, and they've got like no underside. I guess you could attribute that to they've cut them open to have a look.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it could be that tube is part of the makeup of the chestburster themselves. Sorry, I just want to add one more point to my egg theory. The end of Aliens, right after the credits of Aliens, you hear a facehugger running around.
Yeah.
So that's basically the way I envision that is the royal facehugger scurrying off with the egg. Like there's your answer. It's only because they never mention what that facehugger, why it's so big. Like, why is it so big? Because it's not the one that impregnates the queen, and some people call it the queen facehugger. My God, I'm trying to get these boobs right, and I can't. There we go. So yeah, that's what I always think about. I'm like, okay, so in order to answer how the egg got on to the Sulaco, you have to come up with a reason for why that facehugger is so big compared to the other ones. And my answer is it's big because it's designed to carry an egg on its back. Like it's got like a plate to carry it. And there was some fan on AVP Galaxy years ago made up a mock-up of this, and that's what got my attention. I was like, oh, okay, that's a cool idea. And then I expanded it by looking at the movie and going, okay, how could that actually work in terms of what we see on screen? And it actually works pretty well. It's just, you have to just imagine this thing and the egg and the facehugger hiding on the queen somehow.
Well, not just somehow. That's part and parcel with the whole theming of the aliens. They're coming out of the walls. They kind of all blend into each other. And I know this was come up with later, but there's that carrier alien with all the spines on it that drops off other aliens on the facehuggers on the battlefield. It's in one of the Alien versus Predator games. I'm not sure which. I never played it.
Oh, see, this is also another thing I'm stipulating here. I'm sticking to movies here. Like all the other, I know there's other aliens. Like I'm trying to just stick to like what we see in the movies. Obviously now though, with Covenant and Prometheus with the black goo, bloomin' alien can come out of anywhere, really. Because like I think Ridley Scott in the commentary for Covenant, after what's her face, Daniels kills the alien with the crane and its body parts fall to the ground, you hear Ridley Scott in the commentary, he's like, and those alien parts will fall to the ground and grow new alien life. He just says it like on a whim, and I'm like, okay, there you go.
I love it. I absolutely love it.
It's like the alien never actually dies. So and Jurassic Hero just said in the chat, which is cracking me up, he says, sorry about my opinion on the Queen. I thought we were talking about Independence Day Resurgence, not the Alien franchise.
Oh.
So we just went on a whole conversation about something he wasn't even talking about.
No, it was a lovely little rabbit hole. Let's side shift over to Independence Day Resurgence. That movie made me a little sad.
That movie cracked me up and made me depressed simultaneously, and I didn't quite know how to feel watching it.
They should have just stuck with the warlord in Africa. Once they launched that concept and that scene, I'm like, I'm all in for this movie.
Yeah.
I didn't need anything else. No starships, no brain cube, none of it. I hate it. It's dumb. Give me warlords and machetes defending the Earth.
Here we go. I don't know
now
what I just did.
Now there's your Predator movie.
Yeah. So what is this next Predator movie? What are they doing with that? What's the idea? Do you know more about it than I do?
I've only heard the elevator pitch, which is about a young girl fighting against the patriarchy in her tribe in
Is
Native
that the new name for
America.
the Predators? The patriarchy?
Perhaps, I don't know. I hesitate to comment because I want to give everything a chance. I want to be the positive guy. I don't want to just instantly hate on everything I hear.
Patriarchy 2 in the city. You guys made poor Clayton suffer, says Big Shark. What do you mean? What have we done? That's why Clayton didn't have a video this week.
Gary Pfeiffer wants to know, what's Kate doing in the mess hall? Is that the only other place everyone can go? Do they all go together?
She is briefing everyone, all the survivors, or except for obviously Greg and Rose, who are in another room. But she's talking to everyone about what the plan is. I can say this: communications are down. A lot of power systems are.
You don't say. Communications aren't working, huh?
Communications aren't working. Power is surging and dying. So systems are going offline, and they need to regroup. They need to make a plan. Like, what the hell are they going to do? They need to find Jess and Wesley and Mia. Like, what's going on? So she's here because she's basically taking control.
Poor Faye's worried about her sister. She needs comforting.
Yeah. Big Chuck says, remember your Independence Day Resurgence commentary after the 98 Godzilla? Yes, that was a good night. That was a very good
yeah,
night.
that was fun.
Yeah, we will do more of those in the future. I know I keep saying it, but like, things haven't changed. So once they do, those will get back on track. Got loads of commentaries I want to do. So what were you about to say before
just warrant Screen Shark to go back and screenshot that big version of her badge.
Oh, this I can show you. Her badge, you can see it plain of day in episode 1. There you go. I zoomed in on the old live stream so you can see it. Kate Lawton, attorney at law. No, I don't know. I'm just saying crap.
We're gonna find secrets. We're gonna find secrets everywhere, Jack.
I have to be careful because these are getting more and more crazy. John on the stretcher, I remember that was visible in one of my live streams when I entered the character sheet while I was making episode 3, and I was like, oh shit, and I had to I had to get rid of him by clicking the eye while I was talking, being distracting on camera. So no one could actually see. It was quite funny. I was like, oh god, there he is. I left him visible for people to see. What was I doing again? I've forgotten. Oh yeah.
You were coloring in Kate? You just put her badge on.
Yeah, so I just remembered what part I was colouring in. It was her little tiny mood wrist watch thing. And it needs to be sort of a orange because she's getting tense. There we go.
News on the Predator front is a little slow at the moment. It's all conceptual. Mm-hmm. However, Alien's fire team is just pushing forward.
Come on, tell us about Alien Fire Team, because you're doing more of this research than I am about all this stuff. I'm sort of out of the loop on a lot of Alien stuff.
I love me the recent batch of audio novels that Audible has been putting out. So I picked up the prequel novel to this video game. And
you were saying it's the first thing released by Disney, right? Under the Alien
Yes,
banner.
It is
First thing from Alien under the Disney banner, should I say?
Yeah. It had to get, the author had to get the green light. He had to basically just go through a second approval process because apparently it had been approved before under the old regime, and he sent in a draft. They didn't have any notes, just reconfirmed it right back to him. But the novel is quite interesting so far. It is setting up politics within the Earth sphere, which no one else has really bothered to do in a meaningful way. And it's dangerous ground, but the author's very cautious, and he's using it as a wedge for world building.
When you say it's dangerous ground, do you mean like because it's going to set loads of rules for the Alien franchise for people to follow, or?
Oh no, he could anger real life people.
That was going to be my next point.
one of the big factions in this novel is the nation of Iran in the future, and for one, it fractures whatever preconceptions of whatever Earth was or the United Colonies, however anyone had anticipated that to play out. It's using it to build drama. I'm only halfway through the book, so I can't give a full commentary. It starts a little rough. I give a lot of credit to the actress reading it. The only part where it gets tough for her, because she puts her all into it, but this American lady, has to portray 4 older Islamic men arguing with each other. And that sequence, it's difficult to track who's arguing with who and who's saying what. And they could have employed more tricks. Yeah, she puts in her all, and
does she sound like Islamic men?
Like... She sounds like British Islamic men. It's a variant of her British accent, which is convincing.
I didn't realize that they did that for audiobooks. I would have just assumed they would actually just hire someone who has the actual accent.
Some of these books have more production value than others. River of Pain had a full cast and like sound effects with the guns firing and everything going on, music even. This one, no music. The actress has to do the bulk of the work. So I give her a lot of credit. She is kicking ass through it. They could have given her a little bit of voice modulation for that. Because when you're playing that many distinct characters all getting thrown at you in one scene, like give her some more tools to use her talents, you know?
Yeah, they see what she can do. Let her stretch her legs.
So far, the most interesting element of the book is the twitchy android that's got a bad memory core and keeps having to be reset, and can't really make heads or tails of him, whether he's a good guy or a bad guy or what.
I'm going to make a prediction that he's a good guy. Or something will happen where he's going to go do something really important, but he'll forget and glitch out at the last second. Or he's going to be bad and he'll go to kill someone and glitch out just as he's about to kill him.
I wouldn't put it past his author to do both. Like deliver the good guy robot and then the bad guy robot a little bit later.
All in the same robot.
But that remains to be seen. And the novel has room to breathe, and the author uses that. The first alien doesn't even show up until third of the way through.
Mm-hmm. That's good. Let it build up tension.
Yeah, I like the slow burn. That's what's really nice about the first Alien movie, is that it immerses you in that world. Yeah,
I got a request the other day to do commentaries on all the Alien films, and that's something I've said many years that I'm gonna do it. I'm like, oh yes, coming up, guys, and we'll do it.
Well, you've done most of them, or do you want to do them all in a row?
No, I've only done. I've done Covenant. I've done Alien Resurrection and AVP. It's not the. Not all, yeah. I mean,
you got the rougher ones out of the way.
Yes, I mean the rougher ones for a lot of people. I mean, I love Covenant, so that commentary. God, I was looking at that today. God, some of the comments under there are so funny. So many people on there just going "fuck you." It's like, all right, Jesus, don't get it. It's got so many dislikes as well.
Let it be. That's still engagement.
Yeah, I know. I'm getting a lot of money from it, so I just leave it. Just leave it to play. I don't care if you guys all want to watch this. I think they don't like it because they turn it on and they think they're either going to watch the film, or they don't like the fact that it opens with like a 10-minute skit of me prattling around in my shed that's made up like a spaceship set. I'm stamping on Star Wars, all this sort of stuff.
Harrison McCarthy would like to know our favorite films. I could give you 10 minutes of a list and not get through all the movies I love dearly.
I'm gonna make a video called my top 20, or my 20 favorite films. But I can give you some of them because it's gonna take a while for me to make this bloody video because I'm so busy. But so I can give you guys watching a little bit of a tease.
Well, I wouldn't be here if Jurassic Park and Aliens weren't near the top.
Okay, so here's some of mine. Some of them I actually watched the other day. One of them, which I absolutely adore, is a film called Life as a House. I've talked about this on a previous stream.
Yeah, you mentioned that.
Yeah, really good movie. It's like a drama, but it's drama. It's not really a comedy, but it's really funny. Like just because the characters are funny. And it's got Hayden Christensen in it, Kevin Kline, Kirsten Scott Thomas. Who else is in it? The captain of the Enterprise from Enterprise. Can't remember his name. That actor, he's in it. Yeah, it's just about a guy.
Scott Bakula?
Yes, yeah, he plays a cameo role. He's like, because it came out in 2001, so this is like before or around the sort of similar time. He's plays a police officer, but like, yeah, it's just a story about this guy who finds out he's got 4 months to live and wants to rekindle his love between him and his son. It's a bloody good movie.
I saw a chick flick version of that concept called The Guitar.
I can almost guarantee this film's better than that.
Yeah.
And I haven't even seen The Guitar. Okay, so who do we want to do next?
I've got a I don't like many real contemporary modern movies. Because I was about to say drama, and I could point to a bevy of historical dramas. I'm like, ooh, Tombstone, amazing. But that's got the overriding theme of Western. Like, the only contemporary real world that's not somehow science fiction or action, I guess, would be Hesher. And that it's a little indie movie starring Joseph Gordon-Levitt and Rainn Wilson from The American Office, who's the only redeeming character in that show, and he plays a completely different sort of character than he does. It's a bleak comedy, but there are a number of the core concept is some asshole who lives in a van and listens to Metallica shows up and invades this house and just starts living there.
I haven't never heard of this movie, so I'm gonna have to check it out.
It's fun, and I partially love it because it uses a lot of the old cuts from Metallica for its emotional stingers, and I don't want to give away too much about it, but it's a family drama about loss, and
see, I like 50-50,
lovely.
which has Joseph Gordon-Levitt in it. Like, I like that as a kind of drama movie, but it's not in this list that I've got here. But I do like that. I do like him as an actor in many things. I like him in Brick is another one.
Did you see Don John?
No, I haven't seen Don John. Don John.
That's a weird movie.
Yeah, the only thing I know about that is actually no. Is that no? I don't even think that's the same film.
Like it starts to set up like he's a masturbation addict, but he just powers through and
What, he powers through masturbating?
Powers through being a masturbation addict. It's bizarre.
Weird. Where is Victor? Here we go. No, not Victor. I need Hank. Where's Hank?
He was an absolutely terrible Robin.
Oh, see, I didn't mind. Well, he wasn't a terrible Robin until you found out he was meant to be Robin. Right? If he was just a different character with a different name, no one would care. But as soon as you find out he's meant to be Robin, it's like, oh, okay. I like his character in that movie, but the fact that he's meant to be Robin, that's the problem. But I think his character and what he does and everything like that works out fine.
But I want to gatekeep with deep lore.
I look at it as like that's what's his face? Nolan going, okay, Robin is a big part of Batman. How do we get Robin in without making it too cheesy but keep it contemporary?
I'd honestly like it better if it was Terry McGinnis. Just go straight to Batman Beyond.
Okay, yeah.
Actually, yeah, that's my headcanon now. Oh, you don't know Batman Beyond? It's fantastic.
I'm not a superhero guy, remember? So, like, I'm
fair enough.
Naive on my superhero-ness. Just trying to work out how tall it should be. I'm using this image of him leaning from another frame because I figured actually that'd save me some time. I can redo his head, it's just more his body I need. No, he's too small there. What the hell? No, he's too big. Weird framing. Just a depth perception.
I'm curious to see how the novel is called Into Charybdis, which is the name of the hole in the planet that it all centers around. And I'm curious how this book is expected to set up the premise of this video game and the 6 new alien types that we're going to be encountering.
What are the alien types? What they got? They the usual spitter. They got one that looks like a Praetorian.
We'll start with this. Runners are pack hunters, preferring to attack in large groups. So we can already see the game playing out in front of us, that there's a pack of 5 or 6 of these charging at you. Mm-hmm. And it just looks like your standard alien drone.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I haven't really... I probably will play it. I'll probably get it and stream it maybe when it comes out, but we'll see. We'll see. I need to hear something that makes it like sound unique, and I've not heard anything that remotely makes it sound unique. This game.
I am waiting for gameplay. If the gameplay is tight and it doesn't, I want them to be a little more risky. Like, show me some weird ass aliens.
Yeah, I don't care about that. Like, yeah, go strange. It's the game.
If the gameplay is good and balanced, this is gonna make or break it for me. If it's like, even if they achieve a modicum of that Left 4 Dead balance, because Left 4 Dead was fun.
Yeah. I think I've got Left 4 Dead 2 on my computer. I played it like once or twice with some friends one night.
The next one is the Xenomorph Spitter. They prefer to keep a distance between themselves and their prey. They have vicious claws and teeth. So it's probably going to play like a witch, I would expect.
Like, this alien's got vicious claws and teeth. It's like, they all have vicious claws and teeth. What we talk... Teeth are one of the... They all have 2 sets of teeth. So,
now, I will say, like, the design looks good, but I'm going to be shooting at it, and it doesn't look different enough.
Yeah, you want, like, the Spitter to be like some sort of facehugger variant that hugs a wall and you don't know where it is and it starts spitting at you, so you have to try and find it. So you're like, where the hell's that coming from? Right? That's what I'm
sending you screen caps of them as I go.
Oh yeah, I do want to see these. Let's have a go. Oh, okay. Yeah, Runner, that's the one from Alien 3. It's the exact one. That's actually... oh God, I love that alien. That looks sick. Spitter.
Now,
okay, that looks like the one from... Wait, is that the Spitter?
Yes, one? That second one is the Spitter.
That looks like a lot like the one from Aliens Colonial Marines. With those yellow orbs on the side of its head. What the hell is this one? Is that the one that explodes?
This is the Boomer. to take the Left 4 Dead terminology.
So this one will run at you and then blow up.
Bursters are more dangerous when slain. Their bodies explode into a lethal, quote-unquote, pool of acid. But we've already seen that countdown timer in gameplay.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Next up is the drone, which, okay, a redundancy to the Runner.
It's not coming up yet.
Looks a little more like the first one.
It's the Alien Isolation one. Because it's got those dual hinged legs, whereas the original Alien had human legs. They had in Alien Isolation, I don't know if you know about this, but they apparently, according to some of the backstory, they actually designed the alien to have like normal human legs. But they said when that thing was running after you, it looked hilarious. And so they changed it to have like essentially like dinosaur legs.
I kind of want to see the other variant now.
I do so badly. I just like I part of me feels like that would be more scary, seeing that thing run after you. I guess the way you can see that is in the original AVP game for PC, because that's the aliens had those human legs, and when they run, they just skirt across the screen so fast. You'd be like, "What the fuck did I just see?"
Yeah, but everything kind of has the same run animation, though. Here's your favorite, the Praetorian.
Yeah, boring. See, I just hate the Praetorian because I just don't know what the point of them is, and that name just sounds like a 12-year-old came up with it.
Now,
I know.
Do you even dislike the?
Comes from somewhere else, but it's like, yeah, go on. Sorry.
Do you even dislike the guard alien designs towards the latter half of Aliens? The more armored ones we see closer to the Queen.
Are they more armored? I thought they were just the same.
No, I thought they had a distinct design.
Oh no, I've never noticed a difference. I always thought that was just you could see them. They weren't like running around and blurred. Where is Hank's glasses? There you go. Hank. Perfect. There he is. I need his head. Actually, that's perfect. He's smoking a cigarette as well. That's what I need. Mix his head up.
Here is the actual interesting one.
Okay, bear with me, sorry. Just making sure that Hank's head is not too big. What we got here then? Ooh, see, there you go. That's interesting.
Yeah. This is the Prowler. They prefer to leap atop their prey from close range, knocking them to the ground to be clawed and bitten.
Mm-hmm.
That I do like.
Yeah, see, that's interesting. I think the tail spike on the end of its tail may be a bit much, because it looks like some sort of sword.
Yeah, but at the same time, like,
I think in the game, yeah, at least that's something like the color scheme's new. That looks better than like some of the other different ones, especially the ones like the Spitter and the Praetorian.
That's the action figure one right there.
Yeah, because my problem with like the ones like the Spitter and the Praetorian is they look overly designed.
Whereas for something that we've seen normal aliens do.
Yes, yeah, exactly. Whereas this looks like, okay, this is a Prowler. What's the well, I mean, I guess we have to see in gameplay, but it looks, I don't know, it looks different. It looks different enough. It reminds me of the bull alien from Kenner. Like that had some horns on it. That's what it looks like.
I think I still have that toy.
I do. I definitely still have that toy. It's my favourite one. Okay.
So yeah, if anyone of importance is listening, be a little braver with your designs. Make them weird.
Make them more creepy. Stop making them look like dinosaurs.
The Burster's kind of cool, like, but there was a better design hashed out in Alien's prototype where the alien merged with some sort of skin disease, and it was like a walking infection that was also acidic. It was just a horror shit show. Exactly what the alien should be.
Yeah, the only problem with that was the walk cycle was glitchy and it became a joke, but the actual design of those things was cool. Like, I agree with you, but like when you saw those things walking around, it was like, ugh, they didn't animate them well. Okay.
The visuals of the gameplay look okay so far. Again, I won't know if I like it until I've got a controller in my hand and I'm shooting things.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the sort of flexibility that Predator is really missing in terms of storytelling. And you had brought up before that the magic ingredient for the alien is that Lovecraftian element. And some of that bears out with Predator as well. But they're so human, and I'll just be honest with you, I don't like anything that has been added to the Predator mythos after Predator 2. It doesn't it lessens the character for me. The Predator planet's okay. I kind of dug that.
That's all right. AVP Requiem.
No, Predators.
Oh, that, okay. Yeah. See, in Predators, I like the dogs that they introduced. I thought those dogs were fine. Obviously, it wasn't really alien. Like, it's very human quality to them. But I did like the design of the dogs. And they used them to flush out their prey or whatever he says. And again, I didn't mind the planet. And I didn't mind the new type of predators in Predators. My problem was once the mask came off. Was it a mask? Did they use an actual prop, or was it all CGI? I can't remember. I don't know if I'm conflating this with the Predator.
I do think they had props. I'm almost positive they had props.
Okay, yeah. So I didn't mind the new Predators in Predators, but at the same time, it's not. This is the problem, right? They introduce new Predators and they're bigger and badder than the last Predators and all this sort of stuff, but then they don't do anything different. It's like they're exactly the same as the other Predators.
Cordery FX himself actually asked a really poignant question. Are there are there mechanic predators? Are there doctor predators? Like venturing into some of those details might be worth. Like, okay, is there a military for the predators? Like, let's say a predator gets out of line, or they've just got to work in the general, like something that goes beyond a hunt, like imminent threat. Like, what happens when predators decide to wage war?
Yeah, now you're talking. That's what you want to see.
There's potential. I think everyone who's kind of come at it is trying to crack the original nut again. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. You gotta go the Predator 2 route. That film didn't try and crack the original's nut.
No, it didn't try to. It didn't try to add anything significant either, other than the trophy room.
Well, no, because we knew they kept trophies from the first one. The thing it added was, like, I think the most significant thing was the guy killed the Predator, and then the Predator gave him a pistol, and was like, "Take it." It's like,
yeah,
and then they left him alone. You're like, okay, so they do have honor. Like, they could have very easily killed him, or another one turned up to try and challenge him because he'd taken down that other Predator, but they didn't do that.
And all of these sequels always try and bring back Dutch. That's who Gary Busey's character was supposed to be in Predator 2.
A fucking alien.
And then they wanted him back for a scene in Predators as well.
Yeah, leave him alone. Leave him alone. Just trying to get Hank's eyes looking in the right direction. I don't know if I'm going to give him his glasses. Or should he have lost his glasses when the thing hit? I lost my glasses.
We afford more glasses. He's got to go get his backup set in their completely new shape. Make it even harder for you to animate.
Well, one of the reasons I'm thinking of getting rid of the glasses is because sometimes I just forget that they're meant to be wearing them. Then I have to go back and bloody change the frames because I'm like, oh yeah, they're meant to have their glasses in this scene. So I could very easily just have them lose their glasses. What am I doing now? Okay, Hank's done, and crossing out Hank. That's what I'm doing. Crossing out his name. Okay, we have Victor, Hunter. I'm going to do Victor next, actually. Father and son out of the way, because Victor is basically done. That's the good thing about these characters. When I've got their full body and they're meant to be just hanging around.
Zombie predators and cyborg predators suggested by Big Shark and Harrison McCarthy. I don't think you need to go down that road because aliens are a half step towards zombie, and we don't need cyborgs because we've got plenty of androids we got to work with.
And predators have like robotic stuff all on them already, so the only difference there really is it's just grafted onto them. It's like, okay, well that's practically grafted onto them anyway. Okay, where are we looking? There's so many blooming layers here. Victor, there he is.
Have you gotten a chance to finish Primal with Clayton?
No, we got up to episode 5. We're still there. We haven't recorded any new ones yet, and I haven't edited episode 5 yet. But Clayton's working some things out from behind the scenes to do with his channels. All in a positive direction, by the way. So I sent him episode 4 of the Primal commentaries a while ago, and he hasn't uploaded it yet. So yeah, he's working some things out, so you just have to bear with him. But yeah, we will get around to doing that, obviously. I realised that.
He is way too happy.
Yeah, I know. I don't like that. Let's redo Victor then. That seems like that's going to be... Oh, there's another one of him standing there looking a bit miserable. There he is. It's also the lighting. This one's better.
Legendary, we win by getting to watch Big Lizard fight Super Monkey.
What's Legendary say? With Godzilla vs. Kong is getting close to release, who do you think is going to win? Big Monkey.
Super Lizard.
They're setting him up in the trailer to be the good guy. Kong. You know, we're getting his backstory. Godzilla's the villain.
He's got a child companion.
Yes, exactly.
That's the strongest plot armor.
Yeah, exactly. Or he'll die protecting her or some stupid shit like that. But who cares? It's monkey fight lizard. My biggest concern is I think I saw a bloody spoiler and I'm really annoyed that I saw it. And if that's true, then I'm and the film plays out how I fear, that is going to be so annoying. I mean, the film might be still great, but it's going to be really bloody annoying. Stupid bloody toys.
Should I even touch the bear on this one?
No, because it might not be what I'm talking about, and then you spoil something else.
Moving right along, then.
Yeah, I've done that before in the past. You talk to someone, and then they're like, "Oh yeah, but there's this thing," and you're like, "That's not what I'm thinking of." Now I want to do his eyes. I want to do a bit of character development with these two.
Oh, it looks so weird seeing his eye jump back and forth like that.
Do it again.
Listen, all I'm saying is Godzilla's been through death before, man. This is not a limiting factor for him.
No, I know. Yeah, he's been just a beating heart on the bottom of the ocean in one of the movies. So it's like, but yeah, no, my yeah, I don't know. It's hard to talk about it without going into what spoilers we've seen and stuff. But I've actually been watching all the Godzilla and all the MonsterVerse movies in prep. And God, I just love them. The human characters are so funny because like no one really cares about the human characters, but the monster characters, that's where it's at. That is where it's at.
You know, I might be the only guy who actually felt for Kick-Ass in the original Godzilla.
I did too, but not by a lot, you know.
And I liked the plot contrivance that they come up with to put him in the middle of the action, that no electronics work, so he's got to operate a manual bomb. He's the last guy. Okay, fine. I can live with that.
I didn't care. Yeah, that worked for me.
Can't judge it too harshly if you've seen any other Godzilla movie.
Yeah. Okay, that was quick for Victor. Oh no, wait. The character thing I wanted to do. Okay, let's do this. He's going to have his arm on Hank's shoulder.
Did you like Monsters?
No, I didn't.
Really?
Yeah. I got in a big old debate with my friends that night we watched it because they're like, "Jack, you'll like this movie," and then when we finished, I was like, I didn't enjoy that whatsoever. This was rubbish.
Oh, that movie was just thick with schmood.
Schmood.
Yeah, like atmosphere in world building, that Alien 1 stuff. I don't know. I dug it. I just
didn't care for again. It's like I like what's it? Arrival. I just did not care about the characters, and then I was really annoyed that the climax of the film was just watching these two giant octopuses have sex. I was like, okay, great movie. But I was impressed more by the making of it, like the guy doing all of it on his laptop.
Yeah, and like real, like actual combat, destructive. A hurricane had just gone through the area as well.
And it's like, yeah, that's Gareth Edwards, right? That's who did it. So it's like, yeah, that impressed me more than the actual movie itself. And then when they said he's doing Godzilla, I was still happy. I was like, I didn't enjoy monsters, but hey, I can see what he can do. I always said, as long as he doesn't have two giant monsters have sex, then that's my stipulation. And then the bloody mutos. I'm like, he's done it again. You know, we were talking about Tom Hanks pissing. Was that last that stream? You know, that's Gareth Edwards' thing. He loves filming giant things having sex.
I think he does it better than anybody else.
That may be true.
Let him do a JP featurette on Stegosaurus getting down in someone's yard.
I just realized.
I don't know. I love a movie that can make me love an asshole. That's something Cloverfield did really well, and that's what I liked about Monsters. Is that those two, both of them up front, like you shouldn't like either of them, and with very little dialogue by the end, I'm brought along on their journey.
Maybe I need to watch it again, because it was many years ago. I was in my early 20s when I saw it, so, and I'm in my 30s now, so maybe I should actually go back and watch it, because maybe I'll have a different mindset for the movie now than I did.
Everything you said is still very true. I won't.
I just remember a lot of nothing. Just a lot of nothing. I just remember them sitting around doing nothing, and I can't remember anything about the movie outside of the ending and them trying to get into the quarantine zone at the beginning. I can't even remember the characters' names. Oh, look at this, guys.
I don't think you're supposed to remember their names. District 13, yet another example of a movie that made me love an asshole.
I haven't seen that one either.
You haven't seen District 13 or 19?
Nope. I've seen District 9.
Oh, this shows how much I love the movie. The one with the bug people.
Oh, yeah, is that the one you mean? Because I know there is a film called District
Neil
13.
Blomkamp, not Chappie, not Chappie.
Okay, yeah, I own that on Blu-ray. Yes, I've definitely seen that. But there is a film called District 13, so that's it's like. Let me double check that. I think there is District 13. Yeah, there is a film called District 13 U. It's an action thriller from 2004. It's terrible.
Not that one.
Have you seen it? Have you seen the pictures of this film? Think of this, right? I'm going to send you this in Discord. Actually, no, I'll put it up on the live stream so everyone can see this.
Oh, I'm looking at it.
This is the film I thought you were banging on about, and I was like, he really likes this movie.
I have not seen this.
Let me sort this up. Where is it?
Starring not Vin Diesel and a resurrected Static X. Who the hell is that guy?
Look at this bloody poster. District 13. Oh, and 2, there's a sequel. Look, it says includes the original film District 13, and plus this stunning sequel, District 13 Ultimatum. So when you started saying, have you seen District 13, my mind went to this, and I can't believe that I even bloody remember that this film exists.
I think I'm beholden to see this movie now. I'm getting some X versus Sever vibes here.
This feels like a commentary stream. That's what's, we do a commentary for this film.
It's not Asylum, it's Momentum. And I don't recognize that 15 rating symbol. So I'm
That's
pretty
the
sure
UK.
this is all set in France.
That 15 one is the UK. That's the British. If I bring it up, make it bigger, it should say the British. Oh, it says the BBFC. So the British. Oh my god, I can't remember now. This film. Oh my god, I'm gonna have to just try. Let me get rid of this. Let me get this off the screen. Bloody hell! Get out of here, District 13.
Yeah. District 9, lovely movie. This is a gold mine, though. Look at them sick-ass cars.
Oh god, what does that stand for again? Bloody hell, I should remember this. British Board of Film Classification. There you go. The BBFC.
Oh, that's what's left over from the old censorship board, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Well, you guys have different in America.
Yeah, there's a really interesting movie about it.
Is it called District 18?
Oh, I'm sure all the districts have been eaten up by now in the era of the asylum.
Oh yeah, Asylum Films have made them all. Anyway, the point is, you were bringing up District 9 for a reason. I can't remember why now. I got distracted.
District 9 made me love an asshole, Vickers.
Oh yeah, there you go.
I was not thrilled about the concept of Neil Blomkamp getting his Alien movie going, though.
I was at the beginning when he said in an interview, and I can't remember where I read this, but he said in an interview that he had an idea for an Alien film that was completely fresh, new characters, everything, like a whole new idea.
Yeah, I'd be totally down for that.
And then he talked to Sigourney Weaver on the set of Chappie, and then she won him over to basically say, "Oh, you should bring Ripley back, and we should give her a quote-unquote proper ending." I was like, okay, what does that even mean? Yeah, so that I wasn't excited about, so I'm kind of glad it got canned. But it would have been interesting to see. I think he'd have been a perfect director for an Alien film. It's just a shame that you wanted to retcon Alien 3 and Resurrection.
And I've seen him in interviews. He doesn't have acrimony towards those films. He's very polite.
He's
nice
very inspired
guy.
by them. Just watch his bloody movies, and there's like
absolutely, yeah.
It feels like it's in Alien 3. So.
Again, that's the guy I want to see tackle Predator. I think he'd make an excellent Predator movie.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, Victor, done.
Better than Shane Black did.
Poor Shane Black.
He's got so much fuck you money. I can't feel sympathy for him.
Ooh, something I just wanted to add to Buzz that we forgot last time. Sweat. You need some of that Burke sweat.
Elysium was good. Chappie was weird.
I didn't mind Chappie. I had fun with Chappie. I thought it was the best RoboCop remake. Better than the other RoboCop remake.
Yeah.
Even had its own Ed 209.
You know, that other RoboCop remake, it was close to being on point, because there are a lot of things to like in that movie.
I might need to just stipulate that. So one day, me and my friend Jack, who's done a few commentaries on this channel with me, he'd never seen the original RoboCop, but he'd seen the remake, and I had only seen the original. I hadn't seen the remake, so we had a day where we watched the opening 15 minutes of the remake, stopped it, watched the opening 15 minutes of the old one, stopped it, went back to the remake and started watching it from where we left off for 15 minutes, then went back to the old one. And by that point, we went, the remake is so shit, we just ended up watching the rest of the original one. Which is like, yeah. And plus, it was getting exhausting. We're like, okay. We have like a 4-hour movie here that we're going to try and get through. But, so I've never actually finished watching the remake. So that's the main point I'm trying to get to. So when you talk about it, I'm like, okay, you're gonna probably sell it to me to watch the rest of it.
I love Batman, and I will let Batman chew my screen any day. That's why I loved Spider-Man Young coming home doing whatever that one was where he's the bad guy. Loved it. Stole the show. I'd cast him as the shark in Jaws.
Spider-Man. Spider-Man's the villain.
No. This is one of the newer
Keaton.
ones
Michael
with
Keaton.
Tom Holland. Yeah, Michael Keaton.
There you go. Yeah, I know. Yeah. Oh God, I love Michael Keaton.
I give that superhero movie credit too for not finding a way to not have like a world-ending problem, making a small problem. Good little family story hidden in there.
Yeah, I didn't mind them. Okay, so another film on my list I'll bring up to talk about is Hearts in Atlantis. You ever seen Hearts in Atlantis?
No.
It's an Anthony Hopkins movie with very, very young Anton Yelcovich. Is that his name? Oh, God, no, I need to...
Yeltsin.
Why did I say Yelcovich? Yeltsin, yes. Anton Yeltsin, very young in the movie. Might even have been his first movie. Let's have a look. No, actually it wasn't his... second year. It was his fifth movie. But yeah. He's like the main character in it though. And yeah, really good movie. Based on a Stephen King book. It's about this boy and his mum in the 50s are renting a room upstairs, and Anthony Hopkins, comes and lives with them, and the boy comes to realise that the guy is a psychic. Like, he can read people's minds and their motives, but it's done in such a way that it feels really believable. Like, you could actually believe someone could do it. And like the government are after him. But it's a small town film. It's not really about that all too much. It's more about just Bobby and his relationship to his mum and his friends who live in this town. But yeah, really good movie.
And I love Anthony Hopkins. How the hell did I miss this one?
Yeah, he's great in it as well. He's good.
Is it played like The Shining, or is it just a whole new thing?
I guess you could say it's like The Shining. There's no like you're in his head listening to other people's thoughts or anything like that. It's like for example, there's a bit where like I don't want to spoil it because it's actually worth watching. I'll do that for films I respect. I'm like, I don't want to spoil it, but like Monsters and Arrival, we'll talk about that.
I'll put it on my list.
Yeah, it's very good.
Yeah. Give me a third movie to check out, and we'll reconnoiter again next week.
Okay, have you seen? I've got so many on this. See, Life as a House and Hearts in Atlantis.
I've already got Life as a House tagged.
Have you seen Alive?
There are a couple movies with that name.
Okay, is
that the one with the...
Go on.
No, go ahead.
This is the Frank Marshall movie. He directed it. It's based on the true story of the rugby team who crash landed in the Alps in their plane and had to resort to eating the dead bodies to stay alive.
Oh, I think I saw this when I was really young.
It's a fantastic movie, like really well done, and it's not as depressing as you would think it is. Like, it's got some humor to it, but I really enjoy it. Like, I watched it when I was younger, and I've always had a fondness for this movie.
I thought I mixed this movie up with Cliffhanger.
Again, that's on my list. I love Cliffhanger.
Eminently watchable movie.
Yeah, Let's see.
But
I'm one of those people who prefer cliffhanger to Die Hard, and I know that's probably heresy, but because without Die Hard you wouldn't have cliffhanger. But yeah, no. Alive is one of my favorite movies. Absolutely love it.
yeah, I will put this on my list. We will come back to it. I've already thrown Hesher at you.
Hesher. Oh yeah, I want to write that down. Hesher.
I don't know if you have time for 3 movies, so I won't inject them upon you.
Well, it's not so much that I don't have time. I would have time to watch 3 movies because me and my wife, we have like evenings together, but it's finding where to watch them. That's the biggest issue. Natalie Portman. She is in Hesher.
I presume you've seen Tombstone.
I saw it many, many years ago, but I don't even want to say I saw the whole thing, so I'll just say no. But yes, I do need to watch that.
It's a bit of a watch. I will say that. I mean, if you love a good 310 to Yuma, but I'm almost confident you've seen that.
Yeah, I went to the cinema and saw that. Yeah, but yeah, Tombstone. I swear I like walked in on some friends watching it, and I sat down and watched a bit of it, but then I had to go do something else. Why can't I get this hand right? What the F is going on here?
Hands are tough. There are so many programs and real life models for them for a reason.
I need to apply my own things. It's not so much the hand, it's the arm. Because he needs... You know what? I need to do his body and then work out the way he's holding his arms, because he's not holding a gun in this scene.
Oh, the chat is on about secure, contain, protects. I've only seen a handful of them, but it's a cool writing concept. It's better than Black Mirror.
What the hell is secure, contain, protect? What's that?
It's a writing prompt, I believe. It either originated on 4chan or Reddit, but it's just creepy stories about things that the government's got to keep under lock and key for various reasons. And it's a writing prompt in so much as you just kind of come up with fucked up shit. There are things that have to be kept under lock and key just because they defy physics, and they're generally harmless. There are other ones like it's a doll that if you walk within 10 miles of it, it eats your soul, and it's a giant pit. It
so
ranges.
like the Twilight Zone.
Yeah, but it's less organized. It's all community based.
All right, okay. Wonder why the chat's saying it.
Some are better than others.
Never heard of this before. Shows how much I know.
It's a fun little YouTube rabbit hole, but it's just like any sort of pulp fiction. You're going to encounter good stuff and bad stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll be perfectly honest, the ones I like the most are the joke ones.
I'll give you one more on my list.
Go for it.
This is a short one. The Incredible Shrinking Man.
All right.
Bloody love that movie. That's a good one. That's like a Twilight Zone episode just made into a movie, but really good. Short, to the point, and a lot of fun.
Ooh, I'm always down for something in black and white.
Yeah, old school. forget which year. Yeah, 1957.
Oh, there's so many good posters for this movie.
Yeah, I know, it's great.
Man, I am so happy that the internet has brought back the era of interesting posters. We're breaking out of the doldrums that were the mid-2010s.
Yeah.
We're starting to see more artistic stuff pop back up. And it's what's going to catch your eye when you're flipping through a bunch of titles on your screen.
Yeah. There was a really interesting Godzilla versus Kong poster that was released the other day. The only problem I had with it is it falls in the category of the orange and blue posters. Because that's a thing.
Yeah, it's a mathematical formula.
Yes, exactly. But this poster, I'll see if I can find it and I'll send it to you. Godzilla versus Kong poster.
Oh, Big Shark with $2 more. Thank you, Big Shark.
Yeah, thank you, dude. That's most kind of you. Where is it?
12 Angry Men is great.
Here we go.
Harrison McCarthy brings up 12 Angry Men. I should clarify.
Here you go. I'm now posting this in the Discord for you. But I might actually put it on the screen actually for everyone else.
Oh, I do like that.
Yeah, it's cool.
It's got the color scheme, but it's still playing with perspective.
Yeah, it's that. It made me turn my head. I was like, that is a cool poster. That's the best one I've seen for Kong v Godzilla thus far. And there's been some doozies. There you go, everyone in the live stream. Feast your eyes on this.
Oh, the high res screen captures and desktop images that are going to come out of this movie are going to be dynamite.
Yeah, I know.
Because there were plenty of good ones that people pulled out of King of the Monsters.
Remove. What's this? Someone said in the chat. John says, Zorro, the Korean one is way better. Let's have a look at that. Korean, or is that the joke? Because one of those posters is. Oh, I see that one where they just stood in the city. Yeah, it's all right. It's a bit flat. He's talking about this one. I'll put it in the Discord. I'm not going to put it up on the live stream. But he's talking about this one. It's a cool poster. I like the colours.
Oh yeah, I dig that.
I'm excited for that movie, man. Just excited for it. The hype is building. Okay, Jude. I'm taking too long doing Jude. He's like one of the easiest characters to do, and I've got to work out his bloody arm. What's the time? Okay, we've got ages. Did you get the chance to listen to the Godzilla and Kong soundtrack teasers that they released?
Yes, and I prefer the Kong one.
Yes, I do as well.
I
do like the Godzilla theme though. I do like the big like dun 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 or whatever thingy that's going on.
They didn't follow through with it though, and I can't say I was disappointed. It was still good. I still listened to it. But I do like the dun 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 dun.
Oh, the classic theme tune.
Yeah, I like the building, the rising tension. It's like the ocean coming up.
See what this soundtrack reminded me of, because I don't know if Yaroslav is still watching the stream, but he was in a WhatsApp chat of ours. He was the one who brought it to my attention when they dropped, and he was saying how he was personally disappointed that they didn't use like a real orchestra, because it sounds like you can tell it's done on a computer. And I partly agree with that, but at the same time, it sounds so like old school. Like it sounds like it's from the 60s. And if you listen to those old Godzilla films, not all of them have the original theme tune in it. And so I was like, this sounds just like a really old Godzilla soundtrack. And I really dug it for that. But I did prefer the Kong tease. Okay, Jude.
Again, the soundtrack matters so much for these movies. It makes or breaks them.
Yeah, I think I'm trying to remember Kong's Skull Island soundtrack. I can't even remember it.
It's a shame we can't play it.
Yeah, I know, right?
Not unless they put it in a video game.
Where they put it in a video game and then it's also not the same songs. They have to make a whole new... Because this Golden Compass soundtrack I've always got playing is a whole original score.
That's not a cheap proposition. They must have had a lot of confidence in that game.
I know. Well, that's the thing. Like, I think... because of the success of like Harry Potter, they were trying to cash in on making a new franchise out of a load of kids' books, and so they went, okay, we need to throw as much money as this as possible, the video game and everything, because we're going to try and capitalize on this, on the success of Harry Potter. And then that's where you get soundtracks like this. The one for the Narnia soundtrack for the game is pretty good. You know,
I'm kind of happy that trend died out. That's one that like rose aside the era of superheroes and then died off.
Mm-hmm. Well, did it? Because Hunger Games, I would argue it evolved into 50 Shades of Grey is where it ended up, actually.
I mean, kind of. You can draw a straight line there from one to the... I don't know. I feel weird now.
That's where it ended up. It didn't die off. It just ended. Well, I mean, it did die off, but it died off with the 50 Shades of Grey movies.
Meanwhile, Anne Rice is sitting over there. I was ahead of the curve on all this.
I mean, I don't blame the writer of 50 Shades of Grey for writing fan fiction about Twilight and then and becoming successful. It's like, more power to her.
Make that money, man.
Yeah, exactly. I haven't seen any of those movies, so it's just, don't really care.
Don't.
Don't. I remember working in a cinema when one of them was out, and caught a clip because you have to go into the screen just to make sure no one's illegally filming or whatever. And I remember walking in, just seeing a clip and just being like, good God, what is this crap that we're showing people? Okay, so I've got Jude instead of his arms being down. I kind of wanted him to be stood there like in a neutral pose, but then I realised that's not really good. So I've now got him like holding his... I don't even know what you call them.
Yes, John Zorro, Shin Godzilla, the soundtrack for that was amazing. Largely because Anno brought over his... I do not remember the gentleman's name from Evangelion, but as much as I hate Evangelion, the music in that show is fantastic, and he couldn't have chosen anyone better for that movie.
It's a good soundtrack. Does that use the original theme? I don't know if it does.
I think once. I know it's all over the place.
Oh, it also uses old, unused soundtrack, right, from the original film.
Yeah, well, there there are so many little secrets hidden in that film. They use like all of the eras of roars. They find a way to blend it in with all the different forms.
I do need to rewatch that soon. It's been a while since I watched it. Went to the cinema and saw that. That was one of the few actual Toho, well, actually the only Toho Godzilla I've actually seen in the cinema in the UK.
Oh, I would have loved to have seen that in the cinema.
Yeah. Because in the UK, like, you can't even buy the Toho Godzilla films on DVD. They don't have distribution here. I mean, I guess they do now because there's some Blu-rays that you can get the Showa era. You can get a box set of the Showa era Godzilla films here now. But like, I guess a few years ago, the only Godzilla films you could buy on DVD in the UK were Godzilla 1998, the original 1954 one, Godzilla vs. King Kong, the Toho one, and Godzilla 2014. So before King of the Monsters came out, that was it. So I had to import all my like DVDs and Blu-rays of Godzilla that I have in my collection. A lot of them are imported from the US or Japan because it's like I couldn't get them here, which is really annoying.
That's the thing, fans will find a way, and all it does is encourage that secondary market and bootlegging.
Yeah. But I love all my like the DVDs I've got now that are like all weird covers. And I have to have I bought a region free DVD player so to watch them because I can't watch them on my normal DVD players. Hello, Jason Kruger, welcome back. He says Kong is Stronk Monkey.
Kong has axe.
Godzilla axe.
The 98 design, Jason Kruger and John Zorro affirm they really like it. I thought it was interesting.
I like it.
The animated series does their design more justice, I think. Just because that film is so grayed out.
Yeah, it's hard to really, really appreciate the design in the actual movie itself. But if you look at it outside of the movie, you can really appreciate it more.
In the cartoon, it's sharp, it's fast, and it looks neat. I prefer, if I got to pick between the two, I'm going with the cartoon one. Yeah. Oh, they made it look like turds on purpose in Final Wars, Jason Kruger. There was some vitriol there.
Oh, yeah. Didn't they scan a toy to make that model?
Probably.
I thought they scanned like a toy of the 98 Godzilla to make that. See, it's so funny and it's really sad because Toho approved the design of that within 24 hours of receiving the bloody design. So they're taking the mick out of a design that they absolutely loved when they first saw it.
Yeah, but again, I wonder what version they were sent and in what lighting that wasn't rained out at night.
Art. It was the concept art that you can see in the making of book. So, like I say, when I watched Godzilla 98 the other day on Laserdisc, and the back of the Laserdisc, that's where I got that information from. It's like it's got like bits of the making of on the back of it, and one of the things they say is that, you know, they sent Toho the designs and within 24 hours they got the green light to use that design of Godzilla, and they said they like it. Yeah, I like it. I think the biggest problem I have with the 98 Godzilla is the human characters. Most of them just they're so bad that it's just distracting from the rest of the movie. Whereas, like, as a completely different origin story for Godzilla, I think it was really interesting. And the only good character is the French guy, Like he's, maybe Animal. I don't mind Animal. Animal's a good character.
I was gonna say, like, Nick Totopoulos is fine until his girlfriend shows up.
Yes,
that's what sinks his boat.
Yeah, Audrey is such a shitty character. But yeah, Matthew Broderick's all right, but he's not. You want someone a little bit more steadfast than his character. Like, you want an Alan Grant. You don't want this sappy little, I'm going to use the term geek, sat in the corner.
Bryan Cranston.
Much more interesting character. But yeah, no, I think like the whole idea of like Godzilla being this mutated lizard that eats fish and just wants to nest. I like that. I like that as a different origin story. Makes him just more like a big animal rather than some monster that they had to destroy. And he's only given the name Godzilla because in that universe it's like meant to be some myth that the Japanese. Well, no, not even a myth. It's like they say that it was just in a song, like a Japanese song about this monster that terrifies them at the sea, called Gojira.
I can't hate the movie too much because it was the thing that kicked open the door for the entire Godzilla franchise for me. So there's that. The soundtrack on that one is so like, oh god, it's like the sequel to Space Jam in terms of like product placement and how hard they want it to be relevant with the core audience.
Well, with Jamiroquai, I actually like the Jamiroquai Deeper Underground song, but the other guy who does the rap at the end, is it P Diddy?
Yeah, Puff Daddy or P Diddy. I don't remember which phase he was in.
But Jason Krieger said Broderick's no Kyle Chandler. Yeah, exactly. What was oh god, what was I going to say? There's have you listened to David Arnold's the actual score for Godzilla 98?
Not individually. I haven't given it its due time.
You should, man, because that score is awesome.
Now,
really good.
Come with me, Puff Daddy's cut on
Puff
Cashmere.
Daddy. I said P Diddy, didn't I? It's Puff Daddy.
Whichever. It doesn't matter. He's a professional. He got paid for it.
Wait, aren't they the same person? Did he change his name from Puff Daddy to P Diddy?
Yeah, and then I think he may have changed it back. All due respect to him and his artistic license with his identification. However he wants to sell his brand.
His artistic
go for it.
He's
more of a Method Man guy myself. It's just me.
Yeah. But no, you should listen to David Arnold's score. Really good. I've got an extended version of it I could send you a link to. It's got like all the unreleased tracks as well.
Oh, for sure. Hell yeah.
It's really good. Like, it's well worth a listen, separate from the film. But yeah, I feel like obviously it's very of its time. It's very 90s. But I have a lot of nostalgia for that movie. But I do understand that it's not the best like Godzilla movie by any stretch of the imagination. But I do like the design of the creature. It's just leaning into making it a little bit more aggressive might have helped. If that Godzilla was a little bit more human hungry, not just fish hungry. I think that might have helped some people with it.
I mean, like, there are plenty of individual sequences that are still fine on their own. Godzilla versus the attack helicopters. I thought that was neat. They found a way to make that creature nimble.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But then when you get to the baby Godzilla stuff, like, it just becomes Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
It literally does just become Jurassic Park. So it's like, okay, can we... just trying to copy another formula to try and get success. It's like, okay, they had the first trailer of Godzilla 98 was the T-Rex standing on a T-Rex skeleton in a museum, basically to be like an FU to Jurassic Park. But then how much of an FU is it if you're going to bloody copy the exact formula for Jurassic Park at the end of your movie?
Not just exact formula, like sequences.
Shots, yeah. They have the baby Godzillas pushing open a door with their heads, just like the raptors in the kitchen. Like the exact same
snapping at
shot.
each other, falling over.
Yeah. It's like, okay, I wish, like, you know, the signal of standing on the T-Rex, like the projection of like, okay, we're gonna be better than Jurassic Park. We're bigger. This is Godzilla, man. This is, you don't mess with Godzilla. I wish they'd kind of lent into that rather than go, hey, Jurassic Park was a moneymaker. Let's make Jurassic Park free.
And there was a bit of sameness, you know, like a little bit of color variation might have been interesting. Maybe make a big one, but they could only afford one model. I get it. They're working on a budget.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, just for one baby, not 200.
Yeah, just shrink down the big one. Copy pasta 40 times. Go, go, go. We're on a time limit. We gotta hurry up and rush Independence Day 2 out.
I was about to say, yeah. I'm working on Independence Day Resurgence. It's my big epic. Been working on it for 20 years. It's all building up to this. Tinosaurus says, aren't Godzilla 98's dew claws on the wrong side of its feet? Yes, they are, but I believe they've done that intentionally because I think the lizard it's meant to be mutated from has like 4 or 5 toes. So I guess they were saying one of them shrunk on the outside. Or it's just some stupid mistake.
So, which is the better retelling of War of the Worlds? Steven Spielberg's War of the Worlds or Independence Day?
Spielberg's.
I think I got to go with Independence Day on this one. Not to say that I don't like watching Tom Cruise run.
Okay. I'm going to be really specific here because you said the better retelling of War of the Worlds.
Yeah.
So the actual book. So what happens in the book? Have you read it?
Not the book. I'm referring to the old movie my dad showed me.
Oh, see, like, listen to this guy, guys. Come on. Retelling of War of the Worlds, right?
I have to be specific, and there was the radio drama, which I've heard the important segments of.
Yeah. Okay, so in the original War of the Worlds book, it follows this guy going to London. He's trying to travel as the aliens attacking to London. Along the way, he meets someone who, like, he hides underground, and what he wants to do is he wants to build civilization underneath the Earth's surface. Like a whole human civilization under the Earth's surface, so he can tunnel up and take on the aliens by surprise. You know, just like they did with their, you know, jars that fell from the sky. You know, he wants to burst out from under the ground and take them by surprise and reclaim the Earth, but he wants to build a huge civilization of humans under the ground first. And the aliens. What was I going to say? Something like that. Anyway, point is, Spielberg's one copies it pretty much verbatim. It's just set in the modern day. You know, instead of traveling to London, he's traveling to Boston. He meets the guy in the basement who wants to dig under the earth. He's like, and he's gone crazy. So it does. So it follows the book pretty closely. But if you're talking about the 50s movie, then yeah, I agree. Independence Day is probably a closer movie to that than War of the Worlds.
Not necessarily closer, better retelling. So it's as subjective as you really want it to be. And I thought you weren't a big book reader, yet you're pulling out all this book lore on me.
No, I'm not. Well, I've read many books. It's just over the years. I'm just not much of a book reader at the moment because I'm busy. I don't really have the time. That said, though, I did sit down and read like a good chunk of Mere Christianity again, so I'm nearly getting that finished.
Yeah. What have you been taking away from that book? For a lapsed Catholic, is there anything for me to glean from it?
It's interesting because he was asked by the BBC to, I guess, from what I know from it, is he's trying to, Oh wait, shit! I've got Godzilla's soundtrack playing in the background. Don't want to get copyrighted. Why did that stop playing? Sorry, bear with me. So for context, the BBC approached C.S. Lewis in, I believe it's 1942, so during World War II, to up the morale of the country by explaining why he's a Christian, essentially. And so he gave a load of speeches which have been turned into these transcripts, which I believe he added to and published. So that's what this book is you have to understand, like, he was giving this speech about why Christianity and how it works during World War II, like the heat of it. And you got to think, like, this is 1942 and the British are basically, we're going through hell at this point. It's like, it's not good. And it reads not so much like he's trying to convert you, the reader, but he's just trying to lay it out in a way that you can grasp. And then, I mean, again, I haven't finished the book, so maybe at the end he goes, and that's why you should be a Christian. But he makes it really palpable for someone who's, you know, I was christened when I was a kid or when I was a baby, but I've never been, when I say I'm not religious, it's like I don't go to church every Sunday, but it doesn't mean I'm like a non-believer or anything. I have my own thoughts on all that business. But it's fascinating to like read this because he lays it out in a very pragmatic way. It's very easy to grasp, and a lot of the stuff you're reading, it's like, yeah, okay, it makes sense. It just makes sense. So I'm yet to get to the point where he like lands the key moment where you go, oh, because at the moment everything's like very simple. I'm at the point in the book where he's talking about the cardinal virtues of Christianity. And most of, well, the first four that he's laid out, prudence, temperance, fortitude, justice, like the way he describes their meaning is like you can apply that to anyone who's not a Christian. So I'm waiting for the other three to see if something, because he's split those up for a reason. He said there's 7 of these virtues, and he split them up into 4 and 3. So he's done 4, but I don't know what he's going to say about the other 3. So maybe that's where it is. But it's a good read. It's a really good read in terms of just a simple layout of what Christianity is all about, essentially.
Now, does it have a house flavor? Like, okay, when you read it, does it come off as distinctly, say, Protestant or evangelical, or is it more heady than that, I guess you could say? The only other thing I could point to in comparison would be an encyclical, which, if I've got the term right and my schooling didn't fail me, are letters of thought from the Pope on the conduct of Christian life and musings on that matter. And it's taken many forms over the generations, but it is just an example. It's less about the dogma and what you believe and more about how you think around the mechanisms of the faith.
Yes.
Am I describing this properly?
Yeah, so it doesn't feel dogmatic at all when I'm reading it. But then again, I don't know if it's just working on me. And then someone else would read it and be like, this is really dogmatic, Jack. What are you talking about? But like, it doesn't read like propaganda. Like, because I know the context of when he was saying this stuff, so it's like it feels to me like, okay, he's really trying to up the morale of the country in a way, and he's using Christianity. Well, the BBC asked him to talk about it, so I'm like, okay. What's it? Sorry, someone said, "What is the book called?" Mr. Dome of Terror said Redhood. It's Mere Christianity by C.S. Lewis. Because C.S. Lewis was famously an atheist who turned into who found God. So that's why I'm fascinated with it, because it's like, okay, he's explaining it from his position, and I've heard a lot of people who are Catholic, I believe, Catholic, the person who I listened to recommended this book, I believe they're Catholic, said that it's a great sort of, if you want to know, a good starting point for the layman. There you go, that's the way of saying it. I don't know if it, like, all the ins and outs of what makes something Protestant over Catholic. I don't really know the differences too much, so I don't really want to say. You'd probably know more about that already than me.
Yeah, I'll stake my flag in the ground. There is one holy Catholic apostolic church.
There you go. One.
There is only one church that owns more private land than any other private organization in the world. There is only one church with a seat at the fucking UN.
Which one's that?
The Holy Roman Catholic Church.
There you go, folks. You heard it here first. Is that so? Okay, what do you think is going on, right? And this could be just a load of fun or a load of nothing. But what do you think is going on with the Pope's throne? Have you seen this?
I've heard a number of conspiracy theories about the Pope. I think you're going to need to be a little bit more specific.
Okay, Google or look up on DuckDuckGo, whatever you use. Pope's throne. I'm going to have to pull this up for people now. So, he sits, firstly... Oh my god, this is amazing. So, let me save this. I hope this doesn't get my video into trouble. I don't think it will. So I'm going to bring up on the stream, the first image is, this is the Pope's throne. Okay, so sitting there, and there's this giant, I'm assuming that's Jesus, surrounded by all these what look like souls, or it's like a pattern. It looks like souls escaping or going up with him. It's very almost Geiger-esque behind him, right? Now let me get rid of that. So just keep that in mind, yeah.
All right.
And then that throne is situated in a room. Let me see. Okay, I've got it here. Bear with me. Oh my god, it's hard to find a big image of this. Is there a bigger image?
That sculpture is called the Resurrection by an artist known as Fazzini.
Mm-hmm. Oh my god. Come on, why can't I find a big picture of this? This is why it's making it. Oh, okay, there you go. Same image. So that throne, you saw how big that throne was, right? It was a big throne with that huge statue behind him.
Yes.
And that is situated in a room that looks like this. So the room is the throne is right down in the middle there, and the room, when you stand right at the back, it looks like a giant snake head. It's got these two eyes on the side, comes down the two fangs, and then they sit right in the mouth of the snake. Now, I don't know if this is meant to be like symbolic, that they're sitting in the mouth of the serpent, or whether it's meant to or if it's got more sinister overtones, but I don't know. I just saw this image of the Pope's throne room and I was like, what? There's something jarring about that, but then I don't know if it's meant to be more symbolic, like, you know, man is obviously born sinful and all that sort of stuff. So the redemption, that statue, the redemption lies. I don't know. I'm trying to work out what they're trying to get to with that. But there you go. You saw that here first, guys. Someone get Tom Hanks as Red Hood. And Jack's entered. Hello, Jack. And he says, now feels like a good time to get drunk. Yeah, what do you think about that?
Well, I did just talk up the Holy Roman Catholic Apostolic Church, so I can't really start throwing down mad heresy, but I'm going to anyway. Have you ever noticed how the devil in the Bible has all of the exact same powers as the Holy Spirit?
Yes.
You ever considered maybe the Holy Spirit, Hasatana, might be one and the same?
Well, that would make sense. I mean, because the way I interpret the biblical text is very much along the lines of how Jordan Peterson was talking about it in his lectures, and that, like, you know, it's not necessarily a literal retelling of history, although parts of it will be, especially like the New Testament stuff. A lot of it is truth hidden in stories, and how these stories came about is still a mystery. Does that make sense? So, like, if Jesus is the embodiment of someone who's following the divine path 100%, the ideal, you know, the type of person you want to be, you want to reach. If that's the case, you're also, and he lives within you, so if you were to follow that path, you would essentially become Jesus. You know, you'd walk in God's footsteps and all this sort of stuff. Obviously, you have the devil in you as well, if you make all the wrong ones. So if you're like if you embody both these spirits, then of course they're one and the same. Does that make sense? Or have I just...
Yeah, the duality of man.
Yeah, so that's why it makes sense to me to, like, that they have the same powers.
And there's that old adage, someone smarter than me came up with the keys to heaven or the keys to hell, you know?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
That's something that Ridley Scott loves to play with as well.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if he's Catholic or... Well, I'm pretty sure he's an atheist, but he really, really likes to put a lot of Christian theming in there, mixed with... You know it's Catholic if it rings like an old Greek or Roman myth. Because
yeah.
you learn a little bit about the Catholic Church. You're like, oh, that's where that came from, huh?
Yeah, I mean, he's got his blooming main character's called David, so... it's like... It's a very...
All I will definitively say is that there are a lot of churches and cathedrals within Vatican City, and the Catholic Church loves nothing less than to flex with building shit.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe one of the popes was like, let's do something a little fucked up.
I mean, that's the thing. It's like that snake head is just too... It's too obvious. But then again, it's like, how many people have known about that? So I don't know what they're trying to say with that. That's the thing. Like, I bet there might even be just some logical reason why they did that. And if they explained it, it's like, oh, okay, yeah, that makes sense for what the image you're trying to sell. But people like to sit with it in the mouth of the serpent seems wrong on the face of it. But I don't know. Jack saying, have you seen the Jeweled Saint skeletons? You've been sending me stuff, Jack, about that. I need to look up more of these now. Jeweled.
Now, that is not to say that all snakes are inherently satanic. This could be a reference to the staff of Moses, for example.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. Like, it's pretty cool to see a room designed that way. You know. Oh god, yeah, these dual scenes.
You could also like put a whole Nordic layer on it, that Christ is the protector of mankind, being reborn from Ragnarok to defeat who else? The world serpent.
Well, that's the thing. There's a lot of ways of interpreting it. You don't want someone to spoil something because they tell you exactly what it means. But I feel like this is an instance where it's like, okay, I kind of want to know exactly the reason why the room's been shaped like a big snake.
From an ops perspective, this is why people storm Catholic churches and accuse us of iconography.
Yeah,
exactly this.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. It's like it does come across like you're worshipping the devil if you've shaped the room. But then that's why I'm like thinking of it. It might be symbolic. It might be like,
the way it was always pitched to me, at least as I remember it, was art for art's sake, and that the craftsmanship and the mastery that went into it is to be appreciated, and that is not an ignoble goal, and that doesn't necessarily make it an idol unto itself.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So it might be completely harmless. Yeah.
And that gets into like really old European traditions of guilds and stuff, and how the church worked within that framework of society, and a lot of that is beyond my pay grade.
Red Hood in the chat says, "Come on, man, don't spoil the Bible. I'm only halfway through."
Oh, the halfway points where it starts to get crazy, bro. Have you ever read the Bible on weed?
Yes. No, I haven't. But I have stupidly started to try and read the Bible from cover to cover, and it's virtually impossible.
It helps with the boring parts. If you go to regular Sunday Mass every 7 years, you will have heard the entire Bible.
What was that? Say that again.
I want to double check this figure, but the Catholic Church has the entire Bible on rotation, and if you go to Sunday Mass long enough, you will have heard the entire Bible, because there's always a reading from the Old Testament, reading from the New Testament, usually a third one from Acts, or one of the greatest hits of the latter half of the Bible as well.
Mm-hmm. Oh look, I've just made Hunter look like he's got a huge head and he's just sat at the table. Sorry, an accident just happened on my thing.
Oh, that's so cute.
Don't need that one. Redhead said, Gary and I was watching Chris Stuckman's video about Alien 3. That's the one with Matt Brando, isn't it? I did a video with Matt Brando around the exact same time he did that one. And they said there was a religious allegory with the alien coming out of the ox. Let me tell you about Alien 3 and its religious allegories, okay? So,
oh yeah.
I mean, it's all over the shop in that film. But, Ripley descends from the sky and brings about the alien. Well, so she lands on a planet of these religious fundamentalists. And as Clemens points out in the movie, like, they don't really know what the religion is. It's like a mixture of all sorts of things. But she brings this demon to the planet, and the population there is made up of these sinners, essentially, all these sinners who all look the same, and there's a deliberate reason why they all look the same. It's not just because of the practical reasons of they've got a head, there's lice and all that sort of stuff, as they say in the movie, but it's also because they are being blanket drawn up by the director and by the filmmakers to be, they're all one and the same. They're all sinners. They're the exactly that you just put them into one camp, which is the unforgivable
I don't need to point out the baptism symbolism going on during the sequence of her getting her head shaved as well.
Well, she also sees herself as a sinner because she lost Newt and Hicks. She feels like she's failed them. She wants, she's not looking for redemption. She blames herself for it. That's why she feels so sad and hopeless. Obviously, the baptism. She lands in the ocean in the assembly cut and in the theatrical one, even though you don't see the ocean in the theatrical cut. So there's that, washed with water and all that sort of stuff. And then as the film plays out, obviously there's absolutely loads I'm missing out here, but as the film plays out, it's all about forgiveness. So Ripley basically says to them, and her and Dylan basically rile this group of sinners up to take on the why I'm drawing this without a bloody layer. Oh my god, on the same layer. Basically get these prisoners to do the right thing. And as an audience members, I've heard many people complain about the prisoners in Alien 3. It's like, why would we relate to these prisoners? And it's like, well, that's the exact point of the movie. So you're not meant to relate to them as in, hey audience, are you a murderer? Are you a rapist? It's like, no, the idea is that, like, these are the worst kinds of people imaginable, but yet in the face of the end, the apocalypse, they have a choice. Do they make the right choice or do they not? And they decide to make the right choice because they're seeking redemption for their sins, essentially.
Dylan really steals the show in that movie.
Yes. Yep. He basically lays all this out for you, in that big speech at the end.
Oh, man.
Do you want it on your feet?
Fuck
your
that thing.
Knees. Yeah, exactly. I say, let's fight it.
Your ass is already on... No, that's Rip. Your ass is already on the line.
The question is, what are you going to do about it? Exactly.
And then the score kicks in, and it's like, go Team Venture.
Yeah, I love that movie.
And then there's the betrayal, the Judas.
Yep, the Judas character. He sees redemption in the alien. Well, no, he doesn't even want redemption, does he? He just wants to go on a killing spree.
And what kills the alien at the end?
Water. Holy water.
Oh, that sequence. Oh, man. It's so well shot. It makes up for the faltering CGI in the other parts of the movie. Which,
I'll correct you there. Faulty compositing. Because it's not... The only CGI in the movie is the head cracks. Unless that's what you're referring to.
No, they had that thing running around the corridors.
Yeah, but that's not CGI. That's a rod puppet. And that was compositing that's bad. So this is a misconception. So it was a rod puppet, but the composition between the rod puppet and the optical effects was bad. So it looks like ropey CGI, but it's not CGI.
That's fascinating.
Yeah, so the biggest problem... See, this is what's annoying about this film, and I kind of do hope that Disney do this. It would be nice to have a moment where they take CGI and actually fix the compositing around that rod puppet, because it's actually really good rod puppetry. It's just the composite's so bad it doesn't look good. Like, if you see the rod puppetry outside of the composite, it looks awesome. Like, the way it's moving, it looks like unnatural, the way it's moving.
Yeah, like the ring.
Yeah, I'll see if I can find bloody video.
There's a term for it, jabberwock.
Oh, going into more of the religious stuff is when, what is it? Golic, who becomes obsessed with the alien. Why does he become obsessed with the alien? Because he sees it. He thinks it's a dragon, which obviously has a lot of religious... what are we talking about? Religious
Not
links.
just religious, mythological.
Mythological, yeah. But he gets baptized in blood. the blood all splats on his face, and then he's like obsessed with the alien.
And I love that. I love that little like the fact that he's calling it a dragon. Like it is such a natural jump when you really put the spurs to it.
Mm.
And it presents it as a beast, which is something that movie had to reestablish. Like, take the guns away. We are flipping the dynamic back.
Yeah, and just go back to like, I don't know, just like nothing. You've got nothing to fight this thing. You haven't even got power for most of the place. Oh, what? On YouTube, it's virtually impossible to find any footage of this bloody alien-free rod puppet. That's irritating. Oh wait, no, there it is. Turn that down. So I'm just going to send you a link on Discord because I can't obviously show this on stream.
Right.
So if you skip to 1 minute 38 onwards, and let me know when you clicked play. You should see the man in the suit at 1 minute 38.
I'm at 120. Okay, yeah, I can now.
Okay, so you got the guy in the suit, and then here you go. This is this rod puppet, and the problem was that they did. This is the test, so this is the like they were testing it.
No shit. That.
So look at how awesome this looks. It looks really skittish and quick and horrible. Like, looks really interesting. And they do like a run test and stuff, and it looks awesome. It's just they just didn't composite it into the film well. Maybe budget reasons, maybe timing, or a combination of both. But like if someone could go back and take the original footage that they have of that puppet and recomposite it, it could probably look really good.
Yeah, I don't see why not. There's absolutely.
Yeah, it's all there. Or even just re-CGI the whole bloody thing. Like, it's just... yeah. But yeah, so many people, you like, dude, I used to think it was old CGI when I was... until I saw the making of. But like, so many people out there still think it's CGI, and it's like that's a misconception. Not that it makes really much of a difference. It still looks bad. It's just you're just saying it's this bad tool over this bad tool. But it's not. Yeah, it's not even like. Yeah, it's just the composite. It's the mixture of adding that thing into the screen. And it's only because it sticks out. It's like it just needs a regrade on some things. Get rid of the black lines. But then again, like whenever I watch the film, I always really like... I don't mind the effects. Here you go. So if you cut to... in the video, cut to 6 minutes, 6 seconds.
All right, one moment. Okay. So you click play, yeah? Yeah.
So you can see they're doing the test here. There's the live... This is one of their tests they did. The live action plate. Then they did the rod puppet. The test composite.
Was that the set before they painted it?
I guess so. But then you'll see, like, look at these tests they did, or these recordings they did of the rod puppet. The thing just looks terrifying, even though it's tiny. But there's a bit coming up about 7, like where they do this like test. I know everyone who's watching this can't see this, but just go on YouTube and write an Alien 3 bonus making of, and you'll see what the video we're talking about. They're doing it in like slow motion so they can capture.
Someone on YouTube might pick this up because there's been a growing trend of fans going back and like touching things up. There was a whole sequence in the original Star Wars that a bunch of fans redid. Obi-Wan versus Darth Vader, they put like modern moves into it, and I can't wait for someone with real talent to take a look at this and sharpen that up. If only because I just saw a really, really shitty edit that took the newborn out of Alien Resurrection and just put the queen in place of it.
Oh, well, I want to see that.
Oh, it's so bad. I will be right back, and then I will find it for you. And thank you for showing me for finding the making of.
No worries.
Add this to my list.
There's a video. There's a. If you can find it, it's called Wreckage and Rage. I think is the making of Alien 3. It's the best making of any movie ever because it's not good.
Oh, one of those.
Yeah, it's really interesting learning the history. But yeah, if you can find it, it's on the Blu-rays and stuff. But Wreckage and Rage is well worth watching. This is what it's from. That's a clip from what it's from. It's really good.
I will be right back.
Yeah, no worries, man. All right, let's get Hunter done. I think we don't even need him anymore. Like that. And get rid of the head like this. Jack, do you like the alien runner or the from the ox or dog? I like it from the ox because of the obvious religious linkage, but I like it from the dog because it's kind of more cruel, unfortunately for the dog. But at the same time, and I think it's like more intense. It's not as scary coming from the ox.
We're programmed to identify with dogs.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like the editing is really snappy in the dog bit. Plus, I think the setting of where it comes out of the dog is more like disturbing. So it's weird, like hovel, this little area we don't even know where it is. Whereas the other one's like an abattoir, which is like already okay. There's dead things there already, but I don't know. It's more symbolic. So I like the ox one for its symbology, but it's the dog one's more intense. Harrison said, "What's the video called?" Well, the one we were just watching. It's Alien 3 bonus making of or something.
Yeah, the one you send me is just titled Alien 3 bonus making of.
Yes, from the old DVD, and on the Blu-ray now.
So I guess I will send you this link. It's already been transformed from the original, so I don't know how YouTube will treat it. But it's worth a laugh.
Okay. I'm just going to pull up something that might be interesting for you guys.
See, this is why you're the professional. You're like, oh, here's the CGI that they employed to make this puppet a reality. And I'm like, here's some YouTube poop.
Okay. I will have to watch this after the stream. I'll watch it with you once we finish the stream, just because I don't want to get like any... I don't want to hear it. I don't want to get any music.
Right.
Copyright. Why can't I open that file? It said... What did it say? Could not open d6.png because an unexpected end of file was encountered. What the hell does that mean? End of file?
It didn't crash your whole program, did it?
No, it's just a PNG. Wait, let me... I've got a trick around this. Ah, yeah. Why is it broken? Ooh, creepy. The file's corrupted. Oh no. That's alright. I can just find it somewhere else. Where is it?
Oh, I see. Harrison asked if I had preferred the ox or the dog, and that's what got you going on about it. I'm with Jack 100%. I like the dog. It's more visceral.
Yeah. It's just if the dog had happened in the abattoir, then perfect. Surrounded by the dead oxes. There you go. Done. Oh, okay. I'm gonna have to print screen this and cut it out. Okay, there's something going on with my computer. Why is that happening now? Ugh. My computer's freaking out. What? The bloody hell is going on?
Oh no, I'm not sure how I can help. Everyone be sure to hit the like button, hit subscribe.
What's weird is
ring that bell.
Okay, I mean, I can do what I need to do. It's just... Wait, where is it? Where's this file? I'm looking for this file. Where are you? Oh wait, I'm looking in the wrong bloody folder. There it is. Oh my god, perfect. Don't even need that file. That's what we want. The Fizz Milk Bioad demo disc.
On a floppy, no less.
On a floppy disk, yes. He's got that in his hand. I'll sort that out in a minute. Right, let's just add the colour. I think, guys, I am going to get this frame finished. Hallelujah.
Fantastic. Legendary says Shallows is one of the best shark movies since Jaws. I don't know if it's one of the best. It's good.
Yeah, I thought it was alright. I mean,
it felt a little like formula.
It's not hard to make a shark movie that's the best since Jaws, because most of them are crap. So, I'd say the best shark movie since Jaws is probably Deep Blue Sea.
Yeah, it's
and that's not saying much. as it is.
Give Deep Blue Sea credit. That movie did what honestly no other movie could have.
Yeah, but I mean, like, compared to Jaws, like, everyone who wants to know my thoughts on Deep Blue Sea can watch our commentary, because I basically say everything I need to say about it there.
Right.
I think it's a good film, like a really good film, but it's not. You're not talking Jaws level of movie here. And out of all the shark movies that came afterwards, it's like, yeah, The Shallows, I think's maybe a bit too simple for its own good. That's its problem. It's not really rewatchable.
Oh, how about Virus?
What, with Jamie Lee Curtis?
Yes.
Great movie.
Excellent film. I'm glad we're total concurrence with that.
Yeah, I have that on DVD.
Really, like, I didn't realize this till much, much later, but it's a good rework of The Thing.
Yeah. Yeah, very good. I mean, the CGI at the end it holds up.
Oh, yeah. And then there was another movie that came out around the same time that was more or less the same concept, but it was Giant Octopus.
No, I don't know that. What's that?
Giant monster octopus.
Deep Rising.
Yeah.
That was a load of fun. That's on,
I prefer Virus over the two, but Deep Rising was a good little creature feature.
I need to rewatch Deep Rising because I haven't watched it in years. Did you know, though, here's a little fun fact, Deep Rising was actually meant to be a prequel movie to a new King Kong franchise.
No kidding.
Because right at the end, they end up on the island, don't they? And then you hear King Kong roar in the jungle.
Oh, shit. Yeah.
Yeah, so they had this whole franchise planned of like a new Monsterverse back then.
Wow, they were early on that, yeah.
And that was going to be like a surprise Kong movie. Like, surprise, here's your kaiju taking out these things, and it's gory and it's R-rated and it's action and it's schlocky.
I don't want to put it out of the realm of possibility, but it's so much harder for any studio to pull that kind of trick off anymore.
Yeah, I think Marvel basically dominates that arena anyway, regardless. But at the same time, I think the Monsterverse has had a pretty damn good shot at it, because, you know, the DC has as well, but it's been a very rocky road for them, whereas the Monsterverse has been short to the point, and the people who love it really love it. Like the amount of Godzilla fans out there who freaking went nuts for King of the Monsters, even though lots of people think that movie's really bad. It's like, I don't think it's bad, but like lots of people do. But the people who are following it, they don't give a shit. There's something in the monster universe where everyone's just like, monsters fight, yes, good, done.
Those people are allergic to fun. It's the same reason the Fast and Furious movies are so popular. It's cars going fast. I get it.
Yeah, exactly. And it's also like, especially with Godzilla, it's got a lot of history behind it. Like, so cut from the same sort of cloth as Marvel, you know, people will recognize little hints and little nods and be like, oh, that's that thing. Or they're referencing this certain aspect of it. But like, I get why some people think there's bad elements of it. It doesn't make sense, but at the same time, there's something about it where, because they're like only doing, as far as we know, 4 movies, with the 4th one coming out at the end of the month, it's like they're not dragging it out, which is the smart move. Whereas I think DC are trying to like drag it out.
Big Shark asked if anyone has seen Red Water, and 2003 horror thriller shark movie actually kind of looks a little promising.
I haven't seen it.
More so than your average shark schlock. Say that 10 times fast.
Shark schlock. What's the worst shark film you've seen?
Oh, I don't even want to call like Sharknado worst, because it's not. It's not batting in the same ballpark. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Mine's Sharktopus versus Mega Shark versus Giant Octopus.
I think I've seen part of that.
It was just so crap. And I mean, it was one of those films where like they knew what they were making, but it's like it's just not funny.
I still carry the torch for Peter Benchley's Creature, the old made-for-TV movie.
I have seen that a couple of times, but not in years. But I remember it being quite good. I just remember getting to the end with the actual creature and be like, there we go. Finally.
Then it turns out the Jamaican guy is his dad.
I don't even remember who you're talking about. That's how long ago it's been.
Oh, the Jamaican scientists. I say Jamaicans. Horribly presumptuous of me, but I'm pretty sure he's Jamaican. It's set in the islands.
Oh, and it's his dad who's the shark creature.
Yeah, that's how he keeps him into the pressure sphere, and then he sacrifices himself. It's just a cheese ball that I can't not love.
Jurassic Grim says Deep Blue Sea 2 is bad. All Asylum films are in one category.
I didn't bother with Deep Blue Sea 2.
The only Asylum movie, and I believe it's an Asylum movie, that I need to see because I've seen one clip of it and it's blown my freaking mind because it's so funny, is Moby Dick 2010. Or 2010 Moby Dick. Like, it's got a really stupid name.
Jeez.
There's a shot of the guy going towards this giant whale with this massive gun just yelling to the heavens. It just cracked me up every time I see it. And I've always wanted to watch it.
I'm getting the 2011 drama series from Google search.
But 2010 Moby Dick. I can send you the clip. I have it saved in my Google Drive. Because I love it that much. I have it saved so I can watch it every now and then.
Oh, I found it.
What, the clip?
Not the clip, but the poster. I'm like, yep, this is the right movie.
Oh, actually, you're in America, so maybe I can actually find the clip. Because it works in your territory. It doesn't work on the UK YouTube. But I'm not going to change my VPN, but I think I can find it.
Whales did used to be scary, though. Orca freaked me out.
That's Orca? Is that the one where the killer whale jumps up on top of like an iceberg or something and like tips it towards someone?
It's not like super gory, but I saw it when I was like, I was young enough that it like stuck with me. I'm like, Shamu is evil?
Oh my god! Oh, it is the Asylum. Okay, I just need to find this clip for you. Okay. Oh my god, the whole film's on YouTube. Oh, I'm gonna have to watch this. But I'm gonna send it to you, right? And skip to bear with me. Skip to 1 hour, 16 minutes, and 57 seconds. And then let me know when you've clicked play.
All right, playing.
This is all you need to see. Just that giant gun.
Okay, this is my new favorite movie.
if you just skip back to like I don't know, 1 minute 16:27. Skip back to about there. This guy's like dying on the floor, and you see the Ahab character in the background. Like they have this shot. Look at this gun he has. What is this thing?
What's the time code? 16:27.
Yeah. And he says something really. He says something before he goes off. It's just before the screaming. Oh. I want to know how they get it.
We should just. You should review this.
I know. I haven't watched the whole film. I've only seen this clip. Like, I really want to watch the whole thing, and I can't believe I found the whole thing on YouTube.
That is why you definitely. Oh, here's a movie for you to check out. I'm sure your wife will love it. Who Killed Captain Alex?
Who Killed Captain Alex? Why does that ring a bell?
It's Ugandan film.
Ah, oh yes. Is that on YouTube?
If not, I will find it.
I need
for
to
you.
find it. Oh wait, who? She would love watching that. Who Killed Captain Alex? If it's an hour and 8 minutes, then yes, it is on YouTube. Yes, it is.
Yeah.
It was made
On like the trailer is just gold, and I think you can get away with playing the trailer for this.
Okay. I don't know. Maybe I can't. Because because it's so popular, someone might have actually bought the rights, and then they'll flag it. It's alright. I've got the video saved. The actual film. We will watch this. That'll be our Sunday movie.
That's all you need to play.
Right. Let's get this frame done.
There, I sent you it.
Okay.
Listen serious. Everybody in Uganda knows Kung Fu.
Everyone in Uganda knows Kung Fu.
People complain these days about how bad movies are. We are in the new golden age of cinema, let me tell you. It's never been a better time to be a movie fan.
No, because do you know why as well? Because all the other movies from the previous eras exist today as well. So you're only just getting more. You live in a world where Who Killed Captain Alex and Star Wars The Last Jedi are the same, same. Which film's better? Well, we all know.
I mean, Who Killed Captain Alex is a non-stop thrill ride.
Exactly.
It broke new ground!
And this is all happening at the same time as all those other good movies that apparently are out there as well.
Yeah, like, okay, today...
Like Jaws exists where we are now. Same as Who Killed Captain Alex. It's like, you wouldn't want to live in any other time period. You want to live in the time period with Who Killed
Jaws
Alex.
can coexist with Sharknado.
Exactly. People who wish they could just go back in time and be like, oh, before these movies became bad. It's like, okay, well, you're going to be missing out on a ton of other movies.
I'm about to throw up two really divisive figures, but we're already knee-deep in Catholic Jordan Peterson shit, so we can't make it any worse, I saw 2 reactions to the Snyder Cut today, and they couldn't be more completely desperate and disproportionate.
Okay, whoa. Before you get into that, have you seen the Snyder Cut?
I'm saving it. I'm going to watch it this weekend.
Okay. All right, that's all I wanted to know.
I already know what happens, and all the important clips are on YouTube. I will judge it as its own thing.
Mm-hmm.
Razor Fist came out, and at the end, he did say, if this butters your bread, good for you. It's not for me. However, he took a very cynical approach, saying, look, you're just giving the Hollywood machine a better avenue to feed you slop. Whereas the complete other side, Max Landis, looked at it from the absolute opposite perspective, that this is a movie driven the Snyder Cut is purely a labor of love, and that one guy who loves this story so much can come back from a personal tragedy and make his vision complete just based on curiosity, if nothing else. I wasn't in the we released the Snyder Cut now. I was curious to see what it was. Mm-hmm. Like I'm always, things like Alien 3 have tempered me for multiple edits of a movie. So
is there much different, do you know? Bear in mind, I haven't seen the other cut, so I wouldn't really know.
Oh, it's night and day. It's absolutely night and day. They are 2 almost wholly different experiences.
Okay.
Like even just on where the story goes. Like,
is Superman more of a villain in the Snyder Cut? Because I always heard all this hype around before Justice League was out that Superman was going to be wearing a black suit and he's a villain and all this sort of stuff. And it's like, then I heard loads of people complain because it's like, that's not what he's like in the movie at all.
That particular moment isn't the main crux of what that movie's trying to do. It's a step in a path building towards the dark side war.
Okay. And is that the dark side from Star Wars?
Yeah, more or less. I don't know. Dark side, I've always thought of as a really cool villain, but he is rather pigeonholed in just big evil space emperor. And the trick with making that guy work is he's going to have to be the most threatening. And again, the bar that they've got to pass is what the animated series did, because the animated series executed really well on the threat of who Darkseid was. Mm-hmm. And for me, that's always going to be the gold standard. And everything I've seen so far, it veers more in that direction from where the original cut that Joss Whedon put together didn't.
Right.
I mean, I'm not here to shit on Joss Whedon or anyway. He tried to make the best movie he possibly could.
So what was the controversial thing that would get this get you into trouble, get this stream into trouble?
Oh, I already brought it up. Oh, bringing up Max Landis and Razor Fist in the same comparison.
Oh, okay.
For having 2 completely opposite takes.
Like waiting for it. I was like, but then I guess it was just these 2
No,
people.
it was just, those 2 personalities, which if you're not familiar with, they are exactly like who they sound like.
Okay. Razor Fist.
Quasi-political commentator. I watch him for his metal reviews because I think his taste in music is extraordinary, but that's just me.
Okay. I've never heard of this fella,
I can give or take on the other stuff. He's kind of a shock jock in his own way, and I don't even think he'd wholly not describe himself that way. I'm not trying to mischaracterize the man.
Yeah. Okay. Almost done here with this frame. Well, not
But
done because I've got to animate it, but
he's trying to stand out in between Ben Shapiro and Chris Stuckman.
oh my god,
Like that's his niche.
That's a combination.
I know, right?
Chris Stuckman, Ben Shapiro. And put those two anywhere near the same league, let alone try and imitate mixing those. Legendary says the Site B cut for Jurassic Park 3 really helped the Spinosaurus being terrifying attacking the boat by cutting out the Barney scenes. Well, thank you very much. That was the release of the Jack cut. That was
drastic improvement, and you can tell that they forcibly inserted that in at some point because they just flow together too perfectly.
Jason Kruger says, "Isn't that the one where the it's done on VHS quality on purpose?" No, as the person who made that cut, I can tell you it wasn't VHS quality. It was dial-up quality because I made it look like it came out in 2001. And the reason I did that is because Vimeo, I couldn't upload it to YouTube because it would just get taken down for obvious reasons. But Vimeo would keep it up. But the problem with Vimeo is unless you're paying for a premium account, you'd only have 500 megabytes a week to upload. So I had to crush the file down to 500 megabytes. Now, obviously, if I was smart, I probably could have saved the quality. But at the time I was making it, I did not know that much about it. So I went, you know what? For novelty, I'll edit it to look like 2001 quality, like really bad. So then it will not be a big file whatsoever.
Just upload it in 45 6-minute segments.
No, I wanted it to be the whole film. But the thing about it was as well, was the what was it? Was it like I knew people had seen the film, like people who were watching a fan edit, most likely have seen the film. So it's not like you actually really need to see it in good quality. But then again, yeah, maybe someone would have, but I haven't got it saved, so you're never going to see it unless I re-edit it again, which I wouldn't mind doing one day. But
how many of the Jurassic Park movies have you gone in and edited? Because you also released your Kelly cut.
Oh no, I've only done the small Kelly gymnastics scene edit and the and Jurassic Park 3. I haven't done any of the others. I wouldn't mind going back and doing it all, but it'll be a time when I have more time on my hands. Right, we're going to do one more thing, which is add...
Big Shark, we don't know that it's Turner blood. It could be koala blood.
It could be Tanistropheus blood. Din din din.
This violence will be what finally causes his Tanistropheus to unite into a commune.
Is this the most characters we've had on screen in one time with this show?
I think, other than in like episode 1 with the big pan out, maybe. But even then...
Yeah, that was what? That was...
That was a back shot of most everybody, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think there's one more person in this shot than what there was. Okay, so I need this shot look of Hunter. He's got a bruise on that side of the head. He's got a cut arm. He's got sweat. He's dirty. He's grubby. That's what we need to do. He doesn't need a cut, but we just need to make him look gross.
He made that jump like a champion.
Yeah, I loved animating that. And he was just like jumping for it, and Turner's just like wah, falling out. Okay. Get him looking a bit grubbier. What's going on with this soundtrack? There we go. Get rid of that. also with Walt, I just wanted to add some dark patches under his eyes so he looks a little bit less smart. And I might even have his tie hanging out.
Yeah, he's watched a couple people die. Tie's coming out.
he instantly. I love Walt as a character so far. Like, he just arrived at the scene, and the first thing he sees is someone with their arm missing being loaded onto a helicopter, and then that helicopter crashes. And the whole thing. He's just arrived. He's like, "What the fuck is going on here?"
So who does Turner work for?
Fizzmilk.
Ah, okay. Can't pry too hard.
Well, no,
we're up against the wall here.
It's not that he works... Well, he works for Fizzmilk, but think of him as kind of a Vic Hoskins type character. Now, Vic Hoskins, like... He works for InGen. He was the head of InGen security. So he was basically running a section of InGen, right? Whereas Turner, he's not the head of Fizzmilk, but he owns a section of it. R&D.
Shouldn't this be marketing?
Or marketing, yeah.
Experimental marketing.
Yeah, bio ads, as it says on the thing. Oh god, I zoomed in too far. Oh, you can't read it now because it's too pixelated. Okay. Oh, Jude. Need to mess up Jude. Beating up all my characters.
Hit me with another one of your favorite movies that we haven't covered yet.
Okay. Oh yeah, because I wanted to give 5. That was my original one. Oh my god, there's so many on here. Have you seen Your Name? The anime movie? By Toho, funny enough.
No, not at all. I fell out of the anime scene a long time ago.
It's a good film. It's a Toho movie about a comet going over Japan. And when the comet goes over Japan, this boy and girl, the boy lives in the city, girl lives in the countryside, suddenly start randomly waking up in each other's bodies. Switch bodies. It's a romance film. But I'm not hugely into like loads of anime. I'm not like a person who knows a lot about it. But I saw this film and I was like, this is really well done. And the animation is beautiful. Well worth checking out. It instantly became one of my favourite films. It's funny. It's heartwarming. It's wholesome. It's just nice.
Sounds like a Ghibli feature. You've already said it's Toho.
Yeah, so Ghibli, I love. I've got a Ghibli film on my list actually.
Ooh, which one?
The Wind Rises.
Pick the one I haven't seen.
It's the one about aviation, and the whole soundtrack of that film is done with human voices, all the sound effects, everything. It's really good. But yeah, Your Name, well worth checking out. And Wind Rises, definitely worth checking out. I've got all, because my wife's obsessed with the Ghibli. We've got all the films. Well, actually, pretty much all of them. Well, I think there's like 1 or 2 we're missing. But yeah, love them all. But I've been to the Ghibli Museum in Japan when we went there for our honeymoon.
Awesome.
Yeah, and it's really horrible because you can't take pictures. You can't. They don't allow cameras. So and you do get to watch a film there that you can only see at the museum, which is actually a really good little short film. And I wish they did release it, but obviously the novelty is that they don't. Right, so I'm going to click save. I think I'm done with this frame. Actually, I do want to just add a bit of darkness under his eye. Make everyone look like they've been through the wars. Just fix that red bit under his moustache. Give him a bit of a nostril. That'll work.
So it wouldn't be a leap to say you've seen Nazca in the Valley of the Winds.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Lovely film.
Yeah, really good. Yeah, we got nearly all of them on DVD and Blu-ray. Again, it was like the like the Godzilla situation. I had to order a load of them. I had to order the box set. So they got the Ghibli films over in the UK, but to have them all in a box set, and I wanted to get them for my wife's birthday one year, I had to order a box set from Korea to actually have them in a box set all together. And now I think they have released a box set in the UK, so I'm like, oh, for God's sake. But that was years ago I got that, so I just didn't think. Gary says makeup on a man? It's not makeup. He's got bags under his eyes.
Oh, have you seen The Wave?
No, but I think I've heard of it. Let me Google it. Right, I'm going to save this. I think I'm done for the day with this.
It's a Norwegian film. I believe it's by the same guy who did Greenland recently.
Oh, I watched Greenland. The Wave.
It's lovely.
Is it
and
2016?
I have it as 2015.
Okay. It's got the orange and blue poster.
Yeah.
So.
An unfortunate circumstance, but awesome disaster film. They made it personal again, which is what a lot of the really good disaster films do.
I'm gonna have to watch this. This looks really good.
Yeah, and like, I don't think there's anything unrealistic in it.
Is it as torturously what's the word I'm looking for?
Does it wallow? Do you suffer?
Yeah, because Greenland, like, I liked Greenland until the very, very, very end of the movie, but the problem with Greenland was it wasn't a very funny movie. Well, it wasn't a fun movie. Again, it was like really competently made, like Arrival. Really well put together, good effects, all this sort of stuff, great acting, but at the same time, it wasn't fun watching.
I saw the trailer and I thought it was another trailer for Geostorm.
Oh God, I haven't seen Geostorm, but it's not like that. It's not cheesy, except for the very, 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 very end, which is what I didn't like. But even then, it wasn't like on the cheese scale. It wasn't that cheesy.
No, The Wave doesn't. It doesn't wallow that way.
Okay.
It feels like the Poseidon Adventure meets Dante's Peak, in a weird way.
Okay. Yeah, I'll check it out. I just realised that Walt should be stood closer to Hunter, because he's the liaison, isn't he? Why would he be stood further away? They're all bunching together in their little social groups. So, once I've done this, I'm going to end the stream. It's been a good one. It's been a good one. We'll watch that clip together after this. But
certainly.
Stream. But yeah, no, this is it's been a good one. I don't even know what to call this stream. The Pope lives in a snake's mouth. I don't know. It's really hard to name these streams when we talk about so much stuff.
Yeah, and I always throw out joke ones, and like that doesn't help the YouTube algorithm play with you.
No, not at all. Just trying to make Buzz a little bit more defined. And Faye.
Yeah, just call it Poor Buzz.
If I didn't draw Buzz whatsoever in this.
Still, though, he's the centerpiece. Everyone's kind of looking his way.
Yeah, okay. Alright, guys. Cheers for coming today's stream. Thank you again, Al, for coming up. Oh, there you go. Big Shark says, call it Moby Dick 2010. Alright. Sounds like a plan. No, I'll come up with a name for it. There was something we talked about that was we lingered on it for a while.
Moby District 13.
District for no, because the jokey thing about Moby Dick's title is it's 2010 Moby Dick. That's the title. So maybe it should be District 13 Moby Dick. All right, that's the winning. That's the winning ticket. All right, guys. Thank you very much for coming, and I will see you guys same time next week. Bye.
Take it easy.